Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
Good Wednesday afternoon to you. Hope it's going well for you. Glad to be with you in the studio for a change. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the program here on 1300 The Zone. My name is Craig Way. Thanks so much for joining us. Good to be back in the studio. The producer, of course, is Cameron D. Parker. The D on the birth certificate stands for Dallas, as in big name for his favorite pro football team, who's been kind of quiet of late. But when it comes to free agency stuff, they're usually pretty quiet. Anyway, do not ask me when the last time I was in the studio. I might be at a loss to be able to remember the exact date that I was in there. It's been a bit.
Been a while.
Couple weeks, maybe? Couple weeks?
At least. And the two of us in the studio together at the same
maybe
time?
Longer. Maybe close to a month because of when you were out, when I was out on the road. But no matter.
Probably has to be early February. Early February.
Wow. Really?
Been a while. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, good to be back in the house today.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's a Yacht Rock Wednesday, so we bring you some Yacht Rock return cuts. We do that. We've got a lot of things to get to on the program today. Obviously, we spent a lot of time yesterday, even though I was out at the ballpark at UFC at Ishfalk Field and previewing the Texas-Sam Houston game, which was run ruled. The Longhorns won that one 13-3. But we spent a lot of time talking about the new hire for the University of Texas. Sean Miller is the new men's basketball coach. There was some talk, obviously, about the women, Texas women's team, which leaves tomorrow. And again, we're one day here in the studio, and then Cam and I will be out tomorrow, back on the plane, going to Birmingham. Do we have the Zimmel hours tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Friday. Yeah. And then, Craig, if they have a good trip in Birmingham and win both games, you go straight to Florida.
Yeah.
I'll come back Tuesday or Wednesday. So this could be our last show in the studio together for
a few days. Yeah. That's what Cam is referring to. And we were told this yesterday, that if the Texas women win their two games, Saturday afternoon at 2:30 in the Sweet 16, they play Tennessee. You can hear it right here on 1300 The Zone. We'll bring you the women's game Saturday because Longhorn baseball will shift over to 103.1 FM. They'll flip-flop spots. The reason for that is because the Longhorn baseball game doesn't start until 4 o'clock on Saturday, and this is the first weekend for Round Rock Express baseball. And then the Express play, 6 o'clock, I believe? Something like that?
On Friday? Saturday.
I
think it's about 6:50 if I remember.
Okay,
correctly.
so
7:50.
Okay, so it would be an overlap. So the point is at all this, so it's going to be a switch, and so the Texas women's games in Birmingham, Sweet 16, Saturday afternoon against Tennessee, and if they advance to the Elite Eight on Monday night at 6 o'clock, both of those games would be here on 1300 The Zone. Longhorn baseball throughout the course of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all three of those games in Columbia will be on 103.1 FM. And Cam, I do want and mean to call it to your attention. There is some discussion about a possible Saturday doubleheader. They're very worried about rain on Sunday in Columbia.
We've had that a couple times.
that with Starkville. With no games Saturday and a doubleheader Sunday.
And then the home opener was canceled against Houston.
Yeah.
I don't remember whether having this big of an impact. I mean, of course, you probably know better than I do, but it feels like, man, we just can't get a 3-game weekend to save our life.
The worst I can remember of all of these types of things was was either the last year that Augie Garrido was the coach or the year before it. It was either 2015 or 2016. They were playing a weekend series at Kansas. And we got, let's see, I'm trying to think if they got some of the game in on Friday or we got the whole game in on Friday, I guess it was. And then they were going to do a doubleheader on Saturday because they were worried about the rain. And then they said, we got to the ballpark and they were getting ready to go. And then they went, no, we're not playing. We're like, what? And then we go back to the hotel and then we get word, no, we are playing. Came back and then played a game Saturday and then played again Sunday. It was crazy. And it was off and on rain and things like that. So it does happen. But in any event, so they have, the Longhorn baseball team has games scheduled for Columbia, Missouri to play Mizzou on Friday evening at 6, Saturday afternoon at 4, Sunday afternoon at 1. And however the configuration ultimately turns out, if they do, out of concern for the possibility of a rain out on Sunday, go ahead and decide to play a Saturday doubleheader. Whatever the configuration is, you'll hear those games on 103.1 FM. And then, of course, you can connect to it through the iHeartRadio app. And, it's on the Texas Longhorns app. So you'll be able to hear it through apps and online at TexasLonghorns.com. So you'll be able to get the games. But for radio purposes, it'll be on 103.1 FM. The Texas women will be Saturday and then Monday off of that Round Rock Express, Friday night, Saturday night, and then on Sunday. Now, here's the other thing. If the Texas women do win their Sweet 16 game on Saturday afternoon, they would play in the Elite Eight against either Notre Dame or TCU on Monday evening at 6. If they should win both games, win the Saturday game over Tennessee and then the Monday game against the TCU Notre Dame winner, if they win both of those games, they qualify for the Final Four. The NCAA has mandated that all of their teams have to be in by Tuesday night. So Texas, instead of coming home after the game Monday night, has been told by the NCAA, just go on to Tampa. So they would stay Monday night in Birmingham and then just go down to Tampa on Tuesday and then have some practices down there before they have the game, which in the Final Four would be on Friday night. So that's what Cameron was referring to about saying it might be gone for 10, 11 days if it turns out that way. Makes it difficult for packing purposes.
Yeah, no doubt for you. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and do you bring a swimsuit? Like, I mean, you're going to be in Tampa. It's going to be good weather.
I hadn't even thought about that kind of stuff, but who knows? Anyway, all right. Coming up on the program this afternoon, we'll recap the Longhorn baseball game from last night. We're closing in on Sweet 16 for men starting tomorrow. We'll talk about that. We have Inconceivable this hour. That will come your way. 3:00 hour. We'll talk Major League Baseball. Opening day is tomorrow. And since we're traveling tomorrow, I couldn't wear a Dodger shirt tomorrow, so I'm wearing it.
You can wear a Dodger shirt. Why not?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm better represented.
The girls in the team are like in their pajamas.
They wear all kinds of stuff, but it's burnt orange. A lot of that.
That's
true.
If you wear your Dodger jersey, I'll wear my Corey Seager jersey.
Actually, what I should have worn the Dodger jersey today and then just wear the polo tomorrow. That's what I should have done. I didn't think it through. I just grabbed a shirt. Anyway, so opening day is tomorrow. Gene Watson from the Chicago White Sox front office joins us as he does every week to talk Major League Baseball. He'll join us in the 3:00 hour. Here we are on the verge of the real opening day. I know the Dodgers and Cubs played 2 games in Japan, and the Dodgers won both those games. They got Mookie Betts back in the lineup last night after he had all that intestinal issue.
Is he going to be okay?
He says he feels fine now. He lost 15 pounds, just could not keep any food down. And that was before the team went to Japan. It wasn't like, I got a hold of some bad sushi or something.
Yeah.
No, it was before they even left the U.S. when that happened. So he went over there with them at first and was so sick, they just sent him home. But he did play last night. I think he went 0 for 3 in the exhibition finale against the Angels. And it was good to see Dustin May on the mound. Big old Gingy out there throwing again, coming off Tommy John surgery. So we'll talk Major League Baseball with Gene Watson in the 3 o'clock hour. 4 o'clock hour, we shift to college baseball and talk about that with Ty Harrington, our contributor and broadcast compadre. So we'll talk some college baseball. But as always, we're responsive to your text, your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and you can avail yourself of us in either of two ways. One, we have the text line that's always open for you. All you have to do is you text the word Texas, followed by your question or comment to 81530. So you text the word Texas, and then, hey, I thought they were going to do blah, 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 or whatever, to 81530. Standard messaging and data rates may apply. So there's that. The other way you can do it is through our talkback feature. If you have the iHeartRadio, the brand new iHeartRadio app, download it on your phone. Real easy to do. It's free. All you have to do then is search AM 13 Under the Zone. It'll pop right up. And then there's two buttons on it. One is like a little white arrow. That's to listen to what's going on in the air at the moment. There's another one that's a red button that's got a little white microphone in it. You push that button and you can leave us a voice message up to 30 seconds. And keep it clean. It is a family program of sorts. But we'll even put it on the air. So you can avail yourselves of this program and us either of two ways, either the text line or also on the talkback feature. All right, coming up, a recap of the Longhorn baseball, and we'll talk a little bit about at first where the Longhorns are in the grand scheme of all that. But we got a lot to get to. There is, after all, football spring practice going on. There was pro timing day yesterday. There's basketball to get to. The floor is yours as well to contact us with your questions here on a Wednesday afternoon on 13 Under the Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter. Here's the 0-1. Swung onto the ball, hit well, out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it. Tune into Longhorn baseball all season long. The stretch in the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him on the slider. And the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeouts. From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn baseball on 1300 The Zone.
You love your home, but sometimes it feels like it's running your life. Leaky faucets, overgrown hedges, and that room you've been meaning to repaint. Sometimes it's just too much. With AirTasker, finding help is simple. Post your task, set your budget, and let local taskers take care of it. It's like having a personal handyman for all the projects on your to-do list. Download AirTasker or visit us at airtasker.com today and make your home work for you, not the other way around. AirTasker. Get anything done.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert. Welcome to Covert Chevrolet in beautiful Bastrop, Texas, where small town values drive big time savings. At Covert Bastrop, we understand what matters to you most. A good deal, great service, and dealing with people you trust. What matters to you matters to us. Rooted in family values since 1909, the Coverts have been serving Central Texas for 6 generations. We want to be your car dealer. Let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive. CovertBastrop.com.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
PPD Austin is looking for healthy adults to participate in research studies. Volunteers are paid for their time and can work online or attend classes while participating in the study. Contact PPD Austin to learn more. Visit meandppd.com. That's meandppd.com.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month.
Definitely a very smart move.
Get bold and watch Star Wars Andor Season 2 and Mufasa the Lion King on Disney Plus.
There's a lot of stories with all of us.
On Hulu, it's the new season of The Handmaid's Tale and A Complete Unknown.
Give a warm welcome to Bob Dylan.
Don't miss your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month for 4 months. New and returning subscribers, 18 plus only. After 4 months, plan auto renews at $10.99 a month until canceled. Offer ends 3/30/25. Terms apply.
Have you thought about what you would do if you had an unplanned pregnancy and how it could change your life? Modern adoption plans allow you to choose your baby's parents and if you want to be in the child's life. To learn more about modern adoption, go to modernadoptionplans.org.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what's actually going on inside your body. By analyzing your gut microbiome, Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional now. Call StarStar Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
What's up, everyone? It's Greg Rosenthal, and I'm teaming up with the king of spring, Daniel Jeremiah. He requires me to say that. We're going to be bringing you 40s and Free Agents, the only podcast you'll need this NFL draft season. From DJ's mock drafts to my top 101 free agents, we'll have it covered for you with all new episodes every Thursday, keeping you up to date as we head to the NFL draft. Listen to 40s and Free Agents on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow 40s and Free Agents and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Our blood runs orange.
Swung on and the ball hit well. Gasparino launches this one, and it is long gone. Will Gasparino with his 5th home run and 20th RBI of the season, extending the Texas lead to 10-2. Yeah, it was a long home run that Will Gasparino hit last night. One of 3 Texas home runs hit there. It's a Yacht Rock Wednesday on the program. This is Larson fighting. That's 2 guys, Larson and fighting with who will be the fool tonight. Yeah, it makes you wonder who's going to be the fool on a given day. But Longhorns were not fools last night. They won. Run ruled Sam Houston 13-3 was the final. They hit 3 home runs in the game. 2 went into the Yeti yard. One by Jalen Flores to give them the 4-1 lead when they scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Then Adrian Rodriguez hit his 5th home run. The magic number was 5 last night. Jalen Flores hit his 5th. Adrian Rodriguez hit his 5th. Will Gasparino hit his 5th. All hit their 5th home runs of the season last night. A designated start for Cade Bing, who went 4 innings and got the win. And Jason Flores and Aiden Moffitt got out there and got a chance to show what he could do. He got a strikeout on 5 pitches, which was good because Moffitt had only had one other appearance at the transfer. And he had given up a run without getting an out. And you know what that means, Cam. When you give up run or runs and you don't record an out and you leave the game, you know what your ERA is?
Is what, 99?
Yeah, well, they put 99, but it's infinity, really. Because there's no way to measure it because you didn't record an out. So they put 99 on there, but it dropped it from infinity to 27.
That's good.
Yeah. So it was a big jump.
That's good.
For Aiden Moffitt. last night. So the Longhorns got the win. They're now 20-3. And after the game, our Keith Moreland was down on the field first with head coach Jim Schlossnagle.
Coach, it's the end of this homestand. It's been 3-2 in the homestand. You had to come back in the 2 games, but it was nice to see guys come out today. I thought they were really good quality at bats early in the game, sort of set the tone of the ball game.
Yeah, it really did. Flores' homer, stretched the lead. Bing was throwing strikes. They were super aggressive at home plate. He was throwing strikes. They were getting some hits. But I thought Flores' homer was really good, and we did. We put together some great at bats. We had a good hit and run. Ended up being a triple. So a lot of good things tonight. Flores, getting him in the game. Aiden Moffitt was outstanding. He's been doing that in practice. He's been throwing strikes. So we wanted to get him in the game. That was kind of the perfect scenario. And then to get Matt Scott and Jonah their first college at bats, it's always great.
Yeah, that is always fun. But that's where I was going to go. I thought you said in pregame, you said, I'd love to get him through 4, see what he looks like. I thought he was really good in the strike zone.
Yeah, he's just what you want on a Tuesday, right? I mean, you hope that at some point the stuff takes a little bit of a jump. But the first game of the season, we were excited about him throwing 94, but he threw it right in the guy's rear end on the first pitch. So you can't have your cake and eat it too, I guess. But he did exactly what we needed him to do tonight.
Now, going to go on the road again the second time in the SEC. Doesn't matter what the records is when you go on the road in the SEC.
No, and there's a lot of challenges, in Columbia. I've never been there personally, but I've watched the games and I've heard all the stories about the weather it's a mental challenge in the opposite direction in terms of you're playing a good team, you're playing an SEC team, crowd, atmosphere, different than what we're used to. So we're going to have to create kind of our own energy and do well. The weather's not supposed to be great. I don't think we could be playing 2 Saturdays. So we got to have a couple of good days of practice and be ready to go.
Yeah. So there it is from Jim Schlossnagle. Keith and I were both a little bit surprised. He never took a team to Columbia, Missouri. And of course, when he was coaching, when he started coaching the Big 12, then they didn't have a trip to Columbia before Missouri left the league for the SEC, and he never took one of his UNLV teams there. So he hadn't been to Columbia before. As I was saying to Keith, Keith was saying it's a home run hitter's ballpark. It's a friendly, at least it was the last time Texas played there. And I said, yes. And they still have the indoor football practice facility beyond the right field wall. And they even have a 420 sign elevated up on the roof, right near where the dome part of the roof meets the side wall beyond the right field wall in bright yellow. There's a 420 sign there. Some Longhorns have not hit that sign exactly, but they've hit that facility before in the past, launching one there. I remember Dustin Majewski hitting one up there. Left-handed hitters with power. I mean, this has Max Ballou written all over it. If there's one in on him and he turns on one like that, he could crush one out there like that. So they'll be there. Now, speaking of home runs, I mentioned it was the 5th home run of the year, both for Adrian Rodriguez and also for Will Gasparino, and the 5th home run of the season for Jalen Flores. Ethan Mendoza did not have a home run, but he had a couple of hits. And remember, Mendoza had a 14-game hitting streak snapped in the Friday night loss to LSU. And he came back with a hit Saturday, a couple of hits Sunday. He had 2 hits last night, so he's, back on the wagon again and visiting with Keith Moreland after the game about it.
So many times it's mentally to come back out when you have such an emotional weekend like against LSU. You start to set the tone in this game early.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really talk about the weekend anymore. It's already over in the past. We try to take it one day at a time and one game at a time. Every day is opening day. So that's our mindset coming in every day. All right, now you personally busted a 14-game hitting streak, but you jumped right back on the wagon now. Yeah, I mean, the hitting streak, it was cool, whatever, but I mean, time started a new one. I didn't really keep up with it. I was just trying to get
That's our job, right? The media's job?
Yeah, I was just trying to get on base any way I could. And that's basically it.
Now talk to us about the infield defense. I know y'all been working hard on it every day, watching it, seeing pregame. Just talk about that cohesiveness of what's going on in the infield now.
Yeah, I think our mindset is just like one pitch at a time. So, every single pitch we're trying to lock in. I think we do a good job of talking in the infield. I think that keeps us loose and just attentive to the game. So, we also do great work with Tulowitzki. He's also helps us a lot. We're doing great right now, and we're trying to keep on going.
Congratulations on the victory. Thanks for visiting.
Thank you.
All right, so there it is, Ethan Mendoza, who's been a really, really nice addition with what he's done. The transfer from Arizona State, or native Texan from South Lake Carroll, and he is hitting close to 400 right now for the team. So the Longhorns will head for Columbia, Missouri this weekend. Missouri has lost 6 straight conference games to open conference play. So 0-6 to start off conference play. They did win last night their border battle with Illinois over in the minor league ballpark in Illinois. They won that one 11-9. And Texas A&M, which is also 0-6 in the league, got healthy at Houston Christian's expense, 7-2. The other 0-6 team in the league is Florida, and they had been ranked until Georgia swept them in Gainesville and put 40 runs on the board in the process. They scored 8 runs Friday, 17 Saturday, and 15 Sunday. They ruled the Gators on Sunday. Florida got up on Florida State, played a Tuesday night non-conference game, and there was a walk-off grand slam for the Seminoles. So Florida is kind of struggling right now, trying to find their way through it. Same with Kentucky, which lost to Xavier. I mentioned on the air last night, Cam, Xavier may have lost its basketball coach, but they didn't lose the baseball game to Kentucky. They won in Lexington last night by a score of 9-3. How does this sit with you? You grew up in Charlotte. You remember Queens College, now Queens University, there in Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm. I had some buddies that played soccer and lacrosse at Queens, and
they're transitional Division I.
Okay,
and they got some lessons learned. They played Tennessee last night and lost 14-3. But they're transitional Division I. Oklahoma won it over Roberts handily, and LSU rule Louisiana Lafayette. So those things happen. But Texas will head for Columbia to take on the Missouri Tigers this weekend. Now, there was one other game I wanted to mention. Let's just say that you had either not migrated to Texas to go to college, or having gone to college in Texas and attained your degree from the University of Texas, then decided to pursue your professional interest back in your home state. And let's say you were back in Charlotte and you were working a regular daytime job and not traveling out of town, and say you had like a regular day shift, that sort of thing. If all of that had been in play, would you have been at, do they still call it Knights? No, it's called Truist Field in Charlotte now. It used to be Knights Castle, the minor league ballpark there, or they got a new one downtown.
Yeah, BB&T. I think it might be now
it's Truist. Yeah. Well, you think you would have been there last night to watch North Carolina play South Carolina in the border battle?
I had a friend who was there.
Was he?
Last night. Top 25 baseball team.
Heck of a ball game. Heck of a
ballpark, yeah.
North Carolina beat South Carolina in Charlotte 13-8 in the Battle of the Carolinas, they said. But it got me thinking about you last night. I thought, if you were settled there in the Charlotte area and working a regular day job or working a job that had that evening open, would you have gone out to watch that ball game?
If I was living downtown, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Because it is a downtown ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place to catch a ball game.
Yeah.
The White Sox AAA affiliate, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Gino probably spent some time.
He has spent some time there. We'll ask him about that coming up. All right. Up next, we bring you Inconceivable here on this Wednesday afternoon on AM 1300 The Zone. Folks, you've been hearing me tell you how much I enjoy Tony C's Pizza and Beer Garden. They serve New York-style pizza and authentic Italian food. I've been going to the location on Anderson Lane near Shoal Creek Boulevard, as well as the one in Round Rock right in front of Del Diamond for years, and now they have a location down south in Kyle at Kohler's Crossing. It's the perfect place to watch the game of your choice with TVs on every wall. All of the games are always streaming with the sound on, and you can sit at the bar for the best selection of draft beers in town, or you can bring out the whole family for lunch or dinner and catch the game at the same time. Their pizza of the month right now is a white clam pie featuring olive oil, chopped clams, mozzarella, pancetta, lemon, and parsley. They have a 2 for Tuesday special where you can get 2 pizzas for the price of 1 every Tuesday. And don't forget about Pitcher Perfect Thursday with half price pitchers of beer every Thursday. It's Tony C's Pizza and Beer Garden, again, in Round Rock in front of Del Diamond, Anderson Lane near Shoal Creek in Austin, and in Kyle at Kohler's Crossing.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today by calling 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Hi, folks. I'm here with Dan Christensen of DJC Law. It's Austin's largest veteran-owned personal injury law firm.
Hey, Craig, you're the best, but I got to tell you, you talk a lot.
well, Dan, it's kind of my job,
That's right. And when you do one thing for as long as you have, you get pretty good at it.
Now I feel like you're calling me old.
No, never. Just experience.
Yeah, just like the team at DJC Law. They have over 200 years combined experience and 500 trials.
And don't forget, Craig, a 99% win rate.
Now that's a winning team. Folks, if you've been injured, call DJC Law at 512-888-9999. That's 24/7 nights and weekends. They have more than 1,000 5-star Google reviews, and you don't pay anything unless they win your case. That number, 512-888-9999. And get your justice. TeamJustice.com.
Principal office, Austin, Texas.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
Inconceivable! 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 You keep using the word.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, here we go with Inconceivable here on a Wednesday afternoon. And there's all kinds of stuff to get to. First of all, there's always the fast food, junk food update to bring you. You're a fan of Whataburger, right? Or are you? Is this the one where you're the kind of the outlier? You're not a fan of Whataburger?
Yeah,
which is in North Carolina now.
Oh, okay.
They're all over, and not just there was that little chain called Watt-A-Burger,
Which I've eaten at Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yeah, where
Mooresville, North Carolina.
And there's one is it called Mount Pleasant? That's up there, up 49. Yeah. There's one up there. Yeah, well, they finally got the cease and desist because they didn't follow with the other stuff. So the regular Whataburger has moved in there now. Well, of the things that you do like at Whataburger, what do you like the most?
Patty melt.
Okay.
And then the hub chub, as Marcus Carr used to call it.
The hub chub.
Texas Longhorns.
What is that?
Guard.
What is that?
Honey buttered chicken biscuit.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, they're bringing back something you might like. The mushroom Swiss burger. It's been gone for a while. That's 2 grilled patties, melty Swiss cheese, the au jus sauce, and a layer of grilled mushrooms. April 1st through June 2nd. So there's your fast food update. The mushroom Swiss burger. Come in. And you can get it on the Texas toast just like you would your patty melt. You know, you can do all that kind of stuff at Whataburger if you wanted to do it that way. Okay. Now, let me get to something that's a little bit more troubling. Yesterday, I mentioned, I think it was yesterday, that I mentioned the 10 most disobedient dog breeds. Well,
10 most obedient now you got?
No, I've got the most popular ones, according to Dogaday. And they have the top 15. So here they are. Counting down from number 15 is the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. You know what a Corgi is, right?
Yeah, I like corgis.
Yeah. The Queen used to like. Queen Elizabeth had corgis.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. A Cane Corso is the 14th. Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, number 13. Australian Shepherd. My son has one, and my son-in-law and daughter have an Aussie Shepherd. That's number 12. Yorkshire Terrier, number 11. German short-haired pointer, number 10. Bulldog, number 9. Most popular dog breeds. Number 8, Rottweiler. Number 7, Beagle. Number 6, Dachshund. Number 5, Poodle. Number 4 is German Shepherd. Number 3, Golden Retriever. Number 2, Labrador Retriever. And the most popular dog breed is a French Bulldog. Our friend Dave Garrett has one. He has a Frenchie. Yeah. Not a Schnauzer listed in there anywhere, but that's okay. I love my Schnauzer nevertheless. It's okay. So we'll just, go with it and not worried about it. All right. Since we're talking about animals, this is a rather troubling story. Headline: Surfer attacked by demonic sea lion amid toxic algal bloom in California. Look at this picture.
Wow.
Of that sea lion.
Is that real?
That's real. That's a real sea lion just going ballistic because apparently this toxic algae that they've been makes them mad. It's like being rabid. And a surfer was left shaken on Friday after he was attacked by a sea lion that was presumably infected with a toxic algae that's rapidly spreading across California's coastline. This was last Friday at Oxnard State Beach Park. Ventura County local R.J. Lamandola said he was surfing and a sea lion suddenly erupted from the water and started barreling toward him. He wrote in a Facebook post, quote, "Its mouth gaped wide, teeth flashing, and its eyes locked onto me with an unsettling ferocity. A frenzied struggle ensued between Lamandola and the animal, which began charging at him with its teeth bared and its jaws snapping. Lamandola said he dodged the sea lion repeatedly using his surfboard as a shield, while he desperately tried to paddle back to shore in between attacks. By then, he wrote, he realized this was no playful encounter. There was something else entirely, something wrong, he said. At one point, Lamandola swung at the animal to fend it off. The sea lion dodged his punch with eerie agility before opening his mouth and clamping down on his left buttock. Bit him right in the buttocks. It then shook its head, and it pulled LaMendola off his surfboard. He said, I don't know how to describe the fear that gripped me in that moment. So far from shore, so helpless, staring in the face of this creature that looked like nothing I'd ever seen. Its expression was feral, almost demonic, devoid of the curiosity or playfulness I'd always associated with sea lions. After a harrowing fight, LaMendola said he was able to free himself from the animal's jaws and get back onto his surfboard. He then finally paddled back to shore. The sea lion was stalking him and charging at him until his feet hit the sand. He drove straight to the emergency room and is recovering from the encounter. When he contacted the Channel Islands Marine and Wildlife Institute to report the incident, he was informed that marine researchers are currently seeing a surge of toxic algal blooms across California's coastline that are known to cause neurological sickness in marine animals like sea lions and dolphins. This algae, called Pseudonychia, produces a harmful demonic acid toxin when it blooms. When consumed by forage fish, such as sardines, demonic acid can cause larger marine animals to become dangerous and unpredictable. So there it is, your feral demonic sea lion story for the day. If you're, speaking of demonic, a Connecticut woman accused of holding her stepson captive for 20 years has to appear in court on Friday. She's accused of imprisoning her stepson for nearly 2 decades and subjecting him to starvation and relentless abuse, set to appear in court. Kimberly Sullivan, age 56, arrested this month, denied the allegations through one of her attorneys, who said he was not locked in a room. She did not restrain him in any way. She provided food. She provided shelter. She's blown away by these allegations. Well, the guy, a 32-year-old man, told police he'd been held captive for over 20 years. Last month, set fire to the Waterbury, Connecticut home he shared with Sullivan in what authorities described as a desperate bid for freedom. The guy was kind of emaciated looking, they said, weighing just 70 pounds at 5'9". Hair matted, teeth decaying. He appeared dirty and disheveled. Said he had to get away, being locked in the room. So anyway, she's going to have to answer to the law for that on Friday, speaking of demonic. Okay. If you were concerned or maybe happy about all the IRS upheaval, you probably wouldn't have to worry about your taxes. Yeah, not going to happen. IRS says, no, they've been as busy as ever. Even though roughly 6,700 of probationary employees were fired back in February, although several may soon get their jobs back. So probably don't celebrate that right yet. And finally, I always love a headline like this. We got another drunk pilot story, Cam. Here's the headline. Southwest pilot.
Oh, not Southwest.
Southwest pilot forcibly removed from cockpit for being too drunk. Flight was delayed by almost 5 hours due to Southwest Airlines searching for a replacement pilot. He was supposed to fly the plane from Savannah, Georgia to Chicago's Midway and booked under, it says, driving under the influence. I guess because they hadn't left yet, just, according to reports. Pilot's bail set for $3,500. TSA officer smelled alcohol in the pilot, informed law enforcement. The plane delayed almost 5 hours. Of course, FAA regulations prohibit pilots from using alcohol while on duty. Can't be around 8 hours of it afterwards. And airline apologized for the disruption, but they had to forcibly remove him from the plane because he had a little too much to drink. All right, there it is, your Inconceivable for Wednesday afternoon. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 1 on 1300 The Zone.
Get ready to cheer on your Round Rock Express right here on 1300 The Zone. From the first pitch to the final out, Round Rock Express Baseball, only on 1300 The Zone.
Hey, if you're looking to refurbish your smile or just taking care of your day-to-day dental health care needs, I can recommend a solution. Dr. Greg Eckert. Dr. Eckert has been at it for 30 years now here in Austin, helping folks with dental repair, whitening, cosmetic dentistry, and a leader in full mouth restoration. They can help you make the informed decision about your dental health care. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. That's Eckert with a U, U-E-C-K-E-R-T. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Prohibition. It's no secret that banning alcohol didn't stop people from living it up in the 1920s.
When we're 5 years into prohibition, the government is starting to go, okay, this isn't working.
I'm Ed Helms, and on season 3 of Snafu, we're taking you back to the 1920s and the tale of Formula 6. What you probably don't know about Prohibition is that American citizens were dying due to poisoned liquor, and all along, an unlikely duo was trying desperately to stop the corruption behind it. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Snafu, and listen now.
Pickleball is on the rise. 46.8 million players nationwide, with a projected $5 billion industry by 2033. Looking to be part of this exciting growth? Crush Yard offers a unique franchise opportunity, redefining the pickleball experience with indoor court, exceptional dining, craft drinks, and entertainment. This is your chance to invest in a rapidly growing brand shaping the future of leisure. For a limited time, you can own a piece of the action. Visit CrushYardFranchising.com to learn more. Crush Yard, Pickleball Bar and Lounge.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes. And hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call StarStar Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Here's this week's iHeartRadio countdown of the top TV streams.
Here's what you've made popular by getting your stream on. Starting us off for the second straight week is the medical drama The Pit on Max. That's followed by Yellow Jackets on Paramount Plus with Showtime. Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus slips back a couple to 8 this week, with the new Peacock drama Long Bright River up a couple to 7. Debuting at 6 this week is the third season of the AMC Plus drama Dark Winds. Reacher on Amazon Prime Video slips back to 5, and Severance on Apple TV Plus falls out of the top 3 to 4 this week. The White Lotus on Max kicks off the top 3. The mystery drama Paradise on Hulu finally relinquishes the top spot, dropping back to 2. And debuting at number 1, which is no small feat, the new British drama Adolescence on Netflix, your number 1 streamed show.
And those are your top TV streams of the week on iHeartRadio.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns. Welcome back to the Craig Way Show and the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Follow Craig on social media at Horn Voice.
Back here on a Yacht Rock Wednesday, little lesser known Fleetwood Mac for you. Earlier days stuff, but Never Forget by Fleetwood Mac. Continue here on 1300 The Zone. Want to go to the text lines because I told you we're always available for you to reach us. Somebody said, how many colleges still have both men's and women's teams in the postseason for basketball? Now, that's a little bit of a trick question because he said both men's and women's teams in the postseason. Did not say NCAA because there's also NIT. There's the WBIT, which is the women's version of the NIT. For example, a friend of mine, Mark Finger, who does the play-by-play broadcast for the Lady Raiders of Texas Tech, I did not know, and they were like right at 500 or something like that, or a game above or a game below, and they got in the WBIT, and they've managed to win 3 games, and they've just been zigzagging all over the country winning games. And they're in Gainesville, Florida to play Florida tomorrow night on that in the quarterfinals, I think it is. And both the WBIT and the NIT are playing in Indianapolis, their championships. North Texas won last night over Oklahoma State in Stillwater. I talked about this crazy arrangement. North Texas was actually seeded number 2 in its side of the bracket. Oklahoma State, I think, was a 4 seed or not seeded at all, and they had a losing record going into the tournament. They were 2 below 500. They won 2 games and got to host the quarterfinal because North Texas had some university function that booked the Superbit Coliseum. They had to go on the road and play that game in Stillwater like they did 2 years ago when they won up there, and they won again. So North Texas is going to the semifinal. I'll have to take a look at that and see if you're counting it, because remember, there's also, in addition to the NIT, there is the CBI, and then there's another women's NIT in addition to that. So there's still posted. And that tournament, the Crown, is starting this week in Las Vegas. I think Boise State is in it. They've got several teams.
Is West Virginia in that?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
So we'll look at the tournament field for that. So anyway, there's still some of that there. Somebody said they're very sorry for my loss of Bill Mercer. It was so many folks lost. He was a great teacher, great broadcaster, and I talked about it linked on the baseball broadcast last night. What a great broadcaster overall Bill Mercer was. He passed away over the weekend at age 99. Somebody said they're struggling to hear 103.1 FM in Williamson County. Can't hear the games in my truck. I understand that. That's why the other options are there for online and app listening. They're on the Texas Longhorns app. You can connect to it through the iHeartRadio app. Also online, texaslonghorns.com. So there's some that when we have those overlap situations, contractually bound to carry Round Rock Express baseball on the zone, unless a game starts well enough separated from the Express game, like the Texas women's game does on Saturday. It's a Saturday day game, and Saturday night will be the Round Rock Express game, and the Longhorn baseball game starts at 4 p.m. There'd be overlap there, and so we're contractually bound to carry that. Someone said, can you please explain why the early season Texas baseball win over Ole Miss up in Arlington does not count as a conference game? Sure. The reason it doesn't count as a conference game is when the tournament, or when that game was first scheduled, when David Pierce was the head coach, they agreed to that over a year ago. Now, they knew that Texas was going into the SEC. However, they also had the SEC schedule in advance, and they knew that Texas does not play Ole Miss on the schedule this year. You play 10 conference series, but there are 16 teams in the SEC. So there's going to be 5 schools that you do not play during the year. And those 5 schools on this year's schedule for Texas are Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. I'm leaving one out. I knew I'd be leaving one out. I'm trying to remember who it is. But there's 5 that you do not play. I know they play Arkansas. They play at Arkansas. They have Texas A&M coming in here. They go to Columbia, Missouri to play Missouri this weekend. They play Florida at home. They've already played Mississippi State. So anyway, there's several that you don't play. And and they've already played LSU here. They don't, and Ole Miss is one of the teams they don't play. So therefore, you can schedule another team in the SEC to play like a midweek game or a non-conference, but it doesn't count on the conference schedule. The conference schedule is what it is, and so they do that one game is not one count on the conference schedule. As a result of that. Alabama is the other one that they don't play. So it's those 5 schools: Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss. They don't play those 5 schools this year on the conference schedule. Then somebody said, cocaine sea lions? Well, it kind of might be. They said it's toxic algae that caused them to just go into a rage. So maybe there's a correlation there. I don't know. It's kind of scary, though. Second hour of the program coming up. Some NFL, college football news to get to, and we'll talk Major League Baseball with Gene Watson here in hour number 2 on the Zone.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what's actually going on inside your body. By analyzing your gut microbiome, Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional now. Call StarStar Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Ready to drive to the hoop? Pull up to Onion Creek Volkswagen, where our deals are nothing but net. Whether you want to slam dunk on a new Jetta or go downtown with a pre-owned Tiguan, we'll call the perfect play for you. Visit Onion Creek Volkswagen today and score big with our unbeatable offers. Don't miss your shot. Visit us at Onion Creek Volkswagen, where every deal is a buzzer beater. Onion Creek Volkswagen, Austin's most valuable dealership.
Hey, Texas sports fans, Mike Harge here. Thomas J. Henry Law is thrilled to be a part of the action with Texas baseball and softball game broadcasts. The athletes give it their all on the field, and Thomas J. Henry and over 250 attorneys give it their all when it comes to helping you and your family get the justice you deserve. Whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, dedication, strategy, and teamwork are crucial. For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry Law has been committed to securing meaningful results for injured people and their families. After all, their law firm will be nothing without the communities and the individuals they serve. Visit tjhlaw.com to find out more. If you or a loved one have been injured, their attorneys are available 24/7 to help. They have a reputation and resources to handle any case. Free consultations with no fees collected unless they win for you. Let's get into Texas baseball and softball action this season, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry Law. On and off the field, it's all about the win.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Sonos speakers. Activate iHeartRadio within Sonos to access all your music, radio stations, and podcasts. Or even easier, look on the player screen in the iHeartRadio app for the available connections icon. Then you can cast directly to your Sonos network and control the Sonos experience directly from within the iHeartRadio
Radio app. If you've got Sonos speakers throughout your house, you have iHeartRadio throughout your house too. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, including in your home with the iHeartRadio Sonos integration. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen. iHeartRadio is there.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the number one preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
Second hour of the program here on 1300 The Zone. Glad to have you with us. Craig Way with you on this Wednesday afternoon alongside the producer, Cameron Parker. And glad to field your questions. If you want to reach us via the text line, we just rattled off a few of those. And you do that simply by texting the word Texas, followed by your question or comment to 81530. Again, the word Texas, then your question or comment to 81530. Like the guy that just went Texas and then went cocaine sea lions. And he texted that to 81530, and it came out like that. Standard messaging and data rates may apply even for cocaine sea lions.
Texas cocaine sea lions.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't know if he was talking about a team name or something like that or whatever.
Hey,
mascot name, All right.
Cocaine sea lions?
Yeah, exactly. You can also reach us on the Talkback feature. All you have to do is you have the brand new iHeartRadio the iHeartRadio app downloaded on your smartphone, and then you just merely pull up your the AM 1300 The Zone. There's two buttons, a white one that's kind of shaped in a triangle. That's just to listen to us. But there's a red button with a white microphone in the middle. You push that, and then you can leave us a 30-second voice message where you can ask a question, make a comment, whatever you want to do on that, within the bounds of decency, of course. So anyway, that's available to you there. All right. We're going to visit with Gene Watson, the Chicago White Sox front office man, with opening day of Major League Baseball tomorrow. However, tomorrow, the Texas women's basketball team leaves for Birmingham, Alabama, to set their sights on the Sweet 16 opponent, the Tennessee Lady Vols, who they beat by 4 points 2 months ago, back on January 23rd. We'll hear some of this right now, and then we'll hear some more coming up next hour. Comments from Longhorns head coach Vic Schaefer.
Well, first, it's just a great week to be a Longhorn, man. It's a really exciting time. I'm excited for our players. Coming off of a great weekend. Appreciate all our fans. Really proud of 9,000 showing up at a 1 o'clock game on a Monday afternoon. I thought we were going to have a businessman luncheon or have a couple of kegs out front for students. But man, everybody just was so special. Obviously our kids were really special as well. Proud of them. Back-to-back years now where they've been able to win 33 games and get through some injuries. So excited about our opportunity coming up this weekend. This is why we do what we do, right? We want to get to this weekend and these games coming up, and obviously everybody's really good this time of year. Obviously our league is so well represented. Iron sharpens iron, y'all. And man, this group, these teams, Alabama could easily be in this group, losing in double overtime at Maryland. We've just got a tremendous league, and want to wish everybody in our league the very best as well. And I am super excited about our team and our kids. And so I'm sure we'll have a really good day today. We'll have lots of film. Blair had the scout the first time we played them. Everybody's kind of got their marching orders for the next three teams. And she's like, how many hours have I got? Like, how much time do I have for film today? How much time tomorrow? I'm like, well, we got all week, really. So whatever we need to show. But, it's everybody gets better. throughout the course of the season. And again, I think we do a good job as anybody at our team continuing to improve, just like Tennessee. So again, just really excited about our team, excited about this week and the opportunity. Well, I can tell you, when you wake up in the morning and know that Rory Harmon and Madison Booker, those two are where we're starting at guard, it's you'd have to ask, and I have to ask myself sometimes, you'd have to, Coach, what are you worried about? Like, there's got to be some comfort in that, and there absolutely is. But you're so excited for her because she did miss this time last year. And it just pained her, to have to sit there and watch it. But yet she was like she was so selfless and giving of herself to Madison and helping her, obviously understand and perform in her new role. And but it just really having both those kids, again, with Rory, when you go into a game like this where Tennessee really wants to speed you up and try to turn you over, man, it's great to have two ball handlers like those two out there on the floor. And then you can throw in a Brianna Preston with them. There's really some comfort in that. So excited for Rory. She's y'all see it. I mean, you look at her playing right now, you'd never know a year ago she had a devastating injury. And the more and more that I look into this, y'all, and I don't mean to diminish any capacity of what happens when you have a kid get hurt, but the more and more I look into it, it's the rehab. It's the kid and it's the people that's doing the rehab. And Rory, I asked her, yes, she came by the office. I said, does your knee even bother you? She goes, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I have no pain, nothing. It's her. And if you would have seen her, how committed she was, and every day, and people have to tell her, hey, you need to back off. You need to take a day off. But that's the commitment of this kid. And we were joking because, we scrimmaged USC back in October, and she actually scrimmaged in that game at 7.5, 8 months, post-surgery. And we were joking. She said, yeah, I was probably a step slow, Coach. I go, yeah, and that was still a step faster than almost everybody on the floor. But there was some heartache that day because people were at USC were, really, they have really good guards. And so, we talked about, okay, flash forward from October or whatever that was, 31st to where we are now in March, 5 months between that. And you just look at the kid and you're just like, I look at her every day and go, wow. I mean, it's just amazing. So really happy for her. And again, kid works. She deserves everything where she is right now because of her work ethic.
When did you think Rory was Rory? I mean, she may not have pain or anything like that, but yeah, trust the knee and everything. Did she and you feel like it was about 10 games in and she was the old Rory, or was that instantaneous?
When I'd watch her, I'd take videos of her out here, even in the summer, late in the summer, and send them to Dr. Ellens and go, here's your girl. She looks like $1 million to me, and it's, July and August. And then we came out in September and, she's not cleared, but I always wanted him to see what I was seeing. And, we'd take her in every month. He'd put his hands on her knee just to, those guys want to touch that knee, and they know what they're doing. Like Dr. Ellens is so good, and he can feel. And so, and I go to most of those appointments. I want to be in, I don't want to hear some third-hand information from a trainer that might or might not have heard it right. So I always want to be able to convey that to the parents. And so, I was there most visits listening and paying attention, but I would see it in the summer. I'm like, this kid is like Sidney Colson. Colson came back in 4 months, 2 days, my point guard on our national championship team at A&M. Now, that ain't never going to happen again, y'all. She came back in 4 months, 2 days with no brace. And I think she had 13 points in like 22 minutes, in the State Farm Tip-Off Classic, that first game that year. And she hurt hers in late July. But Rory was so much similar to that. And I was seeing that early on that this kid is special.
How much do you look at the last Tennessee game versus maybe the last two
I think you look at all of it. Yeah, I'm in there right now, and I've already been through it, and so I think you have to look at it all. You have to look at what we did back then, and then what teams have done since then with them, what they've done to teams, and you have to give them credit. They go into Ohio State and went on the road in a big game, a second round game, and really dominated. They had one stretch where Ohio State made that run to get back in it, and then they put their foot on the pedal, and it was over in a heartbeat. And that's how they are. You get into their tempo, start throwing the ball to them, and it's layup after layup after layup. It's bad, and that's something that's hard to stop. And so you have to give Tennessee a lot of credit. I mean, they went in there and won on somebody's home floor, but you look at it all. I mean, we'll have looked at everything from our game to the last, every game in between, just to make sure we get all our bases covered.
Yeah. So there it is. There's some comments from Vic Schaefer. We'll hear more from Vic coming up a little bit later on this hour. We're going to shift to baseball, Major League Baseball, and talk some opening day baseball with Gene Watson from the Chicago White Sox front office coming up on 13 Under the Zone.
Get ready to cheer on your Round Rock Express right here on 1300 The Zone. From the first pitch to the final out, Round Rock Express Baseball, only on 1300 The Zone.
Hey, y'all, Cameron Parker here, and I'm always on the lookout for chef-inspired comfort food in Austin. Well, not anymore, because I've found the League Kitchen and Tavern. With 4 locally owned and operated locations in Austin, including Avery Ranch, Bee Cave, Belterra, and Lakeway, the League Kitchen and Tavern stands as a homage to the 1920s Prohibition era. With the vibe of a vintage speakeasy-inspired eatery and a menu that offers American comfort foods made from scratch using fresh products delivered almost daily, and a cocktail menu that takes guests on a stroll through history, the League is the perfect place to dine in or pick up lunch and dinner. So check out their March specials, including their fish sandwich, battered cod on a challah bun with tartar sauce and coleslaw. Or try the Celtic Mule cocktail of the month, Jameson with ginger beer, peach slices, mint lime wedges, and Matilda Peach. So hang out at the bar and watch the game. I know I'll be there. With 4 locations in Austin, it's the League Kitchen and Tavern.
You love your home, but sometimes it feels like it's running your life. Leaky faucets, overgrown hedges, and that room you've been meaning to repaint. Sometimes it's just too much. With AirTasker, finding help is simple. Post your task, set your budget, and let local taskers take care of it. It's like having a personal handyman for all the projects on your to-do list. Download AirTasker or visit us at airtasker.com today and make your home work for you, not the other way around. AirTasker. Get anything done.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid to 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call Star Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's *488 to receive a link to the offer.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hardworking tools at hardworking prices. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
News has never been so important.
We've got breaking news from Capitol Hill.
And iHeart makes it so easy to stay in the know with 24/7 news on iHeartRadio.
A major breakthrough in medical research.
Live around the clock, so you're never more than 3 minutes away from the stories that matter most.
Extreme weather is impacting millions.
24/7 News, right at your fingertips with the free iHeart app, where you can now make 24/7 News a preset for even quicker access. 24/7 News on iHeartRadio.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Field back goes Dill to the warning track to the wall. It's gone.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long. We're back. It's the Craig Way Show with Hall of Fame broadcaster and voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way.
So here we are on the verge of a brand new Major League Baseball season. It is here as I get through a sneezing fit. There it is. Now, much better. All right. So Major League Baseball begins tomorrow, the opening day for everybody else. I mean, I know the Dodgers and the Cubs played 2 games in Japan, but now everybody, including those 2 teams, gets going tomorrow. It's opening day, and it's not opening day unless we take the opportunity to talk baseball with our good friend Gene Watson from the Chicago White Sox front office, who's about to get on a plane and go up to Chicago for opening day tomorrow for the Sox.
42 and clear is what they're calling for. That's a good day for opening day in Chicago.
Yeah. What's the worst weather you've been around on an opening day?
Oh my gosh. I've been in a few snow games. I was in Detroit one year. We actually stopped and had lunch at Fishbone in Greektown, and the kitchen caught on fire. And that was quite a day to remember. Wow. I think that was 2002, 2003, somewhere around there. But yeah, we've had a few snow days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know that you're excited about this one. And we talked about this last week, that while the White Sox themselves are still going to be in a building mode and a rebuilding mode, and in some ways to be a long season because of the record, in other ways, you're expecting, and the front office is expecting to see progress made from last year to this year and another step forward, correct?
Yeah, and it's really nothing different than last season. We knew it was going to be a long season from a personnel standpoint. We had traded our number 1 starter during spring training, Dylan Cease, and now we've traded our number 1 starter away again in Garrett Crochet. And, there's a pretty good probability that, Louis Robert, our number 1 position player, will be traded at some point this season. So you go with the ups and downs, you focus on the things that you can control. And we're certainly excited about, where our minor league system is now just in a year, and you put your head down and go to work on another year for it. And, it was fun to watch what the Royals did last year in the playoffs, because we were a big part of that before we came to Chicago. And so you apply the same work and just keep grinding away day by day.
I want to ask you about something else, and because I know you've been around these types of scenes before. It made Sports Center, and there was a lot made of showing that locker room, that clubhouse video of Cam Smith, who got picked up by the Astros as part of that Kyle Tucker trade, made the opening day roster. And there was a video shared by the team, and you see Joe Espada address the players and then brought out his mother and told him, and it was very emotional. There was tears involved. You've been involved in some of those where you've seen some guys get really excited about that, haven't you?
Craig, it's one of the more enjoyable things to see. It brings so much joy when you see something like that, because it doesn't matter if you're the first pick in the first round or the last pick in the 20th round. There's no guarantee you're getting to the big leagues. It is a miracle to play in the big leagues one day. And you have a 40-time greater chance of graduating from Harvard than playing a day in the big leagues. And injuries and setbacks in performance and being asked to do things mechanically with your swing or on the mound or defensively, everything has to go absolutely perfect for you to play a day in the big leagues. And just it's such a great celebration for players and their families and all the hard work that goes into everybody, the entire village that it takes to raise a player. And so when you ever get to see special moments like that, it's certainly great and never gets old.
Well, and here's another example of what you're talking about. There's that, and then the opposite end, and this is, I would imagine, Gino, this is even more of a unicorn moment where the Angels second rounder Ryan Johnson made the Angels opening day roster, drafted in the second round last year, coming out of Dallas Baptist, signed for $1.75 million. Didn't pitch after throwing 106 innings in that junior season. He made the roster, and he will be on the roster without having played a day in the minor leagues. That is truly a unicorn moment, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. And the thing of it is Perry, who I'll see tomorrow, and we're having dinner Saturday night, Perry Manassian, the general manager, just isn't afraid to put his 26 best players on the field. You saw it with Logan O'Hoppe. You saw it with Shanwell at first base. You saw it with Zach Nato at shortstop. He's going to be ultra aggressive when it comes to putting his best players at the major league level. And the system has kind of taken, a shot, being ranked so low, but they're ranked so low because he moves his players to the big leagues so fast. And I think they have one of the higher wars of drafted players in the last 5-6 years. And he's just not afraid. He's super aggressive to give these guys an opportunity. And Ryan Johnson went into camp and he earned the spot, and it's great for him.
By the way, I do find it interesting. Also, he's the first player to skip the minor leagues entirely since the aforementioned Garrett Crochet, who did it in 2020. And of course, the minor league season was canceled due to the pandemic. But Johnson's only the third player since 2001 to play in the big leagues without a minor league appearance. Crochet, Mike Leake, who Longhorn fans remember was pitching for Arizona State when Texas beat Leake and Arizona State in the College World Series in Omaha in 2009. But Leake moved in 2010. And, Gino, since the implementation of the draft in 1965, only 23 players before Johnson have been moved straight to the big leagues. That's how unreal it is, isn't it?
It really is. And in today's climate, where last year, the average roster used per team was 50 players. The average pitchers used per team was 30 plus. I think the average starters used was like 11, somewhere in that range. That, and they explained to him in the meeting, look, you earned a spot, you're going to be here, but by no means is this you're here all season. And there's a lot of, especially with all the injuries taking place to pitching right now, there's a lot of manipulating the roster to try to sustain your depth of your pitching. And so that certainly went into it, but he is one of the 13 most talented pitchers on their roster for now. And until he proves otherwise, he's going to be in the big leagues.
Talking Major League Baseball here with Gene Watson from the Chicago White Sox. We mentioned this, Gino, back a few weeks ago when this happened, when Alex Bregman went over from the Astros to the Red Sox. And there was a lot of this conversation about what was going to happen with Rafael Devers, who was going to play third. And today, a guy very, very well, Alex Cora, the manager, said today that Devers is going to serve as the primary DH with Bregman at third base. And I believe that's what you said, that you saw Bregman probably playing over at third base, and here's Devers going to the DH role.
I think when you get out of the emotion of the moment and the acquisition, at the time of the acquisition, players have so much pride in their ability that, there can be a strong stance as to I'm not going to do this or I'm going to do this. And then as the conversations begin to take place, and really in between the white lines is the ultimate evaluator. And I'm sure Raphael looked over and saw a Gold Glove infield, and he wants to win. And so if you put it in the hands of the players, it's a player's game. And if you put it in the hands of the players and you let them see the true evaluation of what's around them, most of the time the players are going to come to their senses and say, you know what, I want to win, and this is what makes our team better. That's certainly what Raphael Devers did.
Well, and to your point, Alex Bregman won the Gold Glove last season at third base. Devers has led the American League or been tied for the lead in errors 3 times over the past 7 seasons. So there's some common sense involved there. And then this also opens up the second base job to Christian Campbell. Tell everybody about this guy, their top prospect, who was announced he's going to be on the Red Sox opening day roster.
Yeah, Christian Campbell was kind of the holdup in a Garrett Crochet deal. We were very adamant that either Kyle Teal or Christian Campbell was going to be a part of the deal, and we were really getting nowhere with either one of them until about 2:00 in the morning in the winter meetings when Craig Breslow called Chris Getz and said, "Okay, we'll make Teal a part of the deal." But this is a ultra dynamic, tremendous athlete, plus defender, can really, really run. He just makes them so athletic when you talk about him and former Texas Longhorn David Hamilton up the middle. They've got a lot of versatility and speed and athleticism. But again, 162 games is a long season. You don't know if the bat is going to produce at the level that it should, but at the time they felt like that this is the best bolt to fire to start the season, and that's what they're doing.
All right. So, Gino, I'm really, really good at this, and that is going to be asking you for your thoughts on who will be the teams to beat in each division race. Let me start with the American League. We'll start in the East with the Rays, the Jays, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Orioles. Who do you like in the East?
Well, I think it's a 3-team race personally between Baltimore, Boston, and the Yankees. The Yankees' injuries to their rotation have been huge. At some point, they're going to have to go get some pitching. Boston is the team that has done the most to improve their team, and they've got the best system. So they can either pull from their system to make the team even more talented than it already is, or they can trade from their system to improve the team in July. Baltimore is the team, to me, that it's kind of time to go. Mike Elias has done such an unbelievable job of building up that minor league system. They've gone back and forth with the ballpark, with the high wall, the low wall. They put a lot of emphasis on their pitching, but it's time to go, and I think they know it. And so those 3 teams jumping out and how they get out of the gate is going to be really reflective of the moves that they make, and because the Central has 2-3 very good teams. I think that the teams are going to be very, very aggressive in the East. I do think that all 3 teams that come out of the East, the 2 wild cards as a winner, will all make the playoffs. But I certainly think that the Yankees, Boston, and Baltimore are the class, and I'm going to call for an upset and give it to the Red Sox.
Wow. Okay. There you go. All right. To the Central, you mentioned them, a division you know very, very well since you spent time with the Royals and building that World Championship team back for 2015. All right. So you have Royals, Twins, Tigers, Guardians, and your ball club, the White Sox.
I remember having breakfast with A.J. Hinch in Chicago in September, and they were kind of, running out of gas and saying to him, for all the injuries and everything that took place this year, next year is going to be 2 steps forward. They swept us that weekend, and they went on an absolute historic tear to get as far as they did in the playoffs. And trust me when I say A.J. Hinch knows what it takes to win in October, and he's got the roster to do it. Jackson Jobe is arguably going to be the Rookie of the Year front runner, one of the best young arms in the game of baseball. And so I look for the Tigers to really, really up the ante this year and take that division. Kansas City is going to be very, very talented, but health to that rotation and health to Vinny Pasquantino and Salvador Perez and Bobby Witt Jr. are going to be really, really important to their success this year. But I just feel like with the momentum that the Tigers had last year and the injection of Jackson Jobe to that rotation and the system they have to go do more, I think they'll win the Central.
All right. In the West, Astros, Rangers, Mariners, and what's listed as just Athletics, because we know what's happening there with them playing in Sacramento and the Angels.
This division is going to play a lot tighter than people think. Oakland, the Athletics are a very young, talented team. And they had one of the better second halves of anybody in baseball last year. And they've made some nice free agent additions to the team. I really, really think that the most underrated team in the American League is the Texas Rangers. Bruce Bochy has always been an every other year guy. They had a bunch of underperformance last year. They took a bunch of injuries. And adding Kumar Rocker and Leiter to in any role to the 13-man staff and pitching is going to be huge. And I think that this is a team that's going to be driven to be very, very good this year. They're one of my sleepers to be in the World Series. I think they've got a great team. And Seattle, obviously, with their great pitching staff, they have to perform offensively. But with Oakland kind of narrowing the gap in that division and the Angels playing better baseball, it's going to be a very, very tighter, tougher division. But I think the Rangers pull away with it.
Were you surprised to see the Rangers have Evan Carter start in Round Rock?
I mean, not really. I mean, sometimes when guys get such a fast pace to the major leagues that that adjustment period can come sooner or later, and it obviously came for him a little bit later. But it's nothing for him to be concerned about, or Ranger fans to be concerned about. He's a ultra talented player, and he's going to be fine. And he'll when it's time for those guys to win, he'll be a part of it.
All right, to the National League East: Marlins, Phillies, Mets, Nationals, and Braves.
Well, the Phillies, Braves, and Mets are the three classes of the division. I struggle a little bit with the Mets bullpen. I don't think it's as proven as people would think. Love the everyday lineup. They're really going to score a lot of runs. They've got great pitching. They got very good prospects to do what they need to do. So I think the Mets are going to stay in it. The Phillies kind of just do what they do. They're such a well-managed team by Robbie Thompson, and they're super talented that you certainly think that they'll be in the mix to win that division. And then Spencer Strider and Acuna coming back for the Braves is going to be huge. And I think that they're probably the class of the division. But I look for the Braves and Phillies to come out of the division either as the winner or the wild card. And then the Mets are going to have to really work to improve that team. Maybe go get a bat, maybe get some pin or a starter, because in the West, there's a team that we'll talk about soon that's going to push for that other wild card spot.
All right. In the Central, Cardinals, Pirates, Reds, Brewers, and Cubs.
Well, the Brewers play the best baseball. The Brewers play the best baseball in all of baseball, even without the most talented, talent. Pat Murphy does an unbelievable job. Their player development system is just incredible. They focus on all the little things. They play to the scoreboard at every level, at every game, and they just do the little things. They run the bases well. They throw the cutoffs well. They do all the little things well to win ball games, and that's a margin for me. And I think that they're certainly the class of the division. The Cubs with Ben Brown and Cade Foster, they're certainly going to have a chance to impact that rotation with young arms, and they've got some offensive players. So to me, it's the Brewers and the Cubs in a dogfight for that division. And the Reds have a very, very good minor league system if they're willing to trade some of their prospects to improve the major league team. And I just don't believe Tito Francona went to Cincinnati to sit back and wait for prospects to get to the major leagues. I think that the Reds will eventually be very aggressive in improving that team.
And finally, in the West, you have Arizona, Colorado, San Diego, San Francisco, and the defending world champion Dodgers.
Well, I mean, I know you love this, but the Dodgers are just, they're going to wish away every day of the season just to get to October. And it's so very hard. And we went through it in 14 and 15. When you're an October team and you're arguably the best team in baseball, you just try to be creative to stay motivated with each other, play for each other throughout the season, and stay healthy, because you're in October and you want to be playing your best baseball and the most healthy the last week of September into October. But this division's a little tougher than people think. The Padres, they were a team that to be reckoned with last year, and AJ Hinch is going to do what he has to do to stay in this thing. And the Diamondbacks, with their starting rotation, they're going to be very, very tough as well. And the Giants, if you ask Buster Posey and Zach Manassian, they'll tell you that they're going to hang into it. But I still think that the Dodgers are the class of the division. They're the class of the league. And in the end, that they'll win that division. But the Diamondbacks and the Padres are the two teams that could make it interesting. And I look for the Diamondbacks, Padres, and Mets to kind of be battling for that last wild card spot the last week of the season.
Yeah, and I guess the Diamondbacks got the bad news today about Jordan Montgomery having to do Tommy John. That takes him out of that, so they'll have to find someone. But they've had a good minor league system bringing guys up.
There's never been a season that I can remember where the health of a ball club is going to matter more, because there's just been the underbelly of teams' pitching depth, the underbelly of their systems. There have been so many injuries that there are very few teams that can take on many more injuries. And you look around, the guys that are coming back from Tommy John, now you've got a whole nother wave that are going to have Tommy John surgery. And there's just only so much the industry can take from an injury standpoint. And so in as much as anything player personnel wise on the field, health to a ball club is going to be super, super important to try to get to October, especially through the summer months.
Gino, I appreciate the time. Safe travels up to the Windy City, and hope for good enough weather tomorrow for that opener against the Angels, and appreciate all the time.
All right, Craig. Thanks so much.
All right. Travel safe. That's Gene Watson from the Chicago White Sox front office. White Sox opening home tomorrow against the Angels. Rangers and Astros both have home openers tomorrow. Rangers against the Red Sox at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and the Astros at 2 o'clock against the Mets tomorrow afternoon. That's the openers on that. All right. We'll have more coming up, more from Vic Schaefer when we continue on 13 Under the Zone. Craig Way here to remind you that if you were seriously injured by the negligence of another, you can call on Dan Christensen at 512-888-9999. Your journey to justice begins with DJC Law. They're available 24/7, 365 days a year. They'll even come to you at your home or in the hospital via Zoom or by phone. With 25 years experience, they've recovered millions in settlements and verdicts on behalf of their clients. More than 25 years of serving Austin and the surrounding communities. DJC Law provides real people helping real people. They have 2 offices in North and South Austin, 5717 South I-35 and 1012 West Anderson Lane, and your consultation is always free, and you pay nothing unless they win your case. Call attorney Dan Christensen at DJC Law anytime at 512-888-9999. DJC Law is the largest Austin-based veteran-owned personal injury law firm in Texas. Get your justice at teenjustice.com or on any social media platform at Get Your Justice.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 5-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
Quickly move. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay.
Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
At Jackson Hewitt, expert tax prep is now $149 or less, but only for a limited time. Hurry. Book your appointment at jacksonhewitt.com today. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/49-149.
Join us in honoring those who served by giving back. Whether it's volunteering, donating, or simply sharing our story, you can make a difference. Together, we're restoring independence, dignity, and hope for Americans' heroes. Visit phhusa.org today to learn how you can get involved. Purple Heart Homes, honoring service, building hope, one home at a time.
AM 1300 The Zone occasionally holds contests. For more information about contests on this station, go to am1300thezone.com/rules.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. for a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Hey friends, I'm Jessica Capshaw.
And this is Camilla Luddington.
And we have a new podcast. Call It What It Is. You may know us from Graceland Memorial, but did you know that we are actually besties in real life?
When one of us sends out the distress signal, the other one always answers the call. Big or small, we're there.
And what does that look like? 1,000 pep talks, 1,000,000 I've got yous, some very urgent I'm coming overs. Because, I don't know, let's face it, life can get even crazier than a season finale of Grey's Anatomy.
And now here we are, opening up the friendship circle.
Someone's cheating?
We've got you on that.
In-laws are in-lying?
Let's get into it.
Toxic friendship?
Air it out.
We're on your side to help you with your concerns, talk about ours, and every once in a while, bring on an awesome guest to get their take on the things that you bring us. Listen to Call It What It Is on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hardball Harge and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Back to the Craig Way Show. Connect with Craig through the text line by texting Texas to 81530, followed by your message. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Cameron, you're always saying you're still learning about yacht rock songs and other songs. I have a feeling you've heard this tune in some place.
Let me hear the chorus.
That is the chorus.
I'm not getting
it's an instrumental.
Rock. How is this yacht rock? This is 1959, Craig.
Yeah, but it's like I told you that this is it. There's not any vocals.
See, I don't remember this in the yacht rock documentary, so I don't know.
Well,
it was not in it.
No, it was not. But it does fall into the realm of that type of genre of music.
Yeah, I can see it. Like kind of being played at like some kind of patio at a Copacabana somewhere in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. But you are right. It was that song was done long before yacht rock was even a thing, obviously. All right, let's hear some more. The Texas women leave tomorrow. We will be leaving with them for Birmingham, Alabama to get ready for their Sweet 16 matchup.
Birmingham.
Yeah. Do you think we have time to slip away maybe for some Dreamland barbecue?
Is there one in Birmingham?
Oh, yeah.
Tuscaloosa?
Oh, yeah. I know the home church is in Tuscaloosa, and you and I have both been to that one there before Texas played Alabama there in football a couple of years ago. But there's one in Birmingham. There's one. We'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some more with Longhorns head coach Vic Schaefer.
Speaking of that, is somebody really hot right now, the last few games for them? And maybe somebody's cooled off?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at their team and you got all those kids are still playing at a high level, whether it's Jules Spear or Spencer or, any of those kids. They're all Talasia. Those kids are all so special. And I just think they're relentless, And again, they play that style that they love. They've embraced that their coaches, really brought on to them, and they've all bought into that. And so, I think you have to just, again, for us, people want to make a big deal out of the line change and all that. Like, we're fine with it. Like, it's the horn sounds. You look over there and go, okay, did my girl check out or not? I mean, that's just what you got to do. And then my staff they'll all be all over it going, hey, you got her, you got her, you got her. So it's really not that big a deal, but people like to make that the topic of the day when you play them. But at the end of the day, they've been doing it all year. And when you've had experience dealing with it, you know, a lot of times, y'all, even in transition, you don't typically get matched up with who you're guarding. Sometimes you're in scramble mode. So I think the biggest thing in the biggest picture is knowing what number you're looking at and knowing the scout. It ain't just about who you're supposed to guard. It's about everybody on that roster and who can and who can't.
For this time around, what is it like to play head coach Kim Caldwell? You know, earlier in the season when she wasn't there, I think she's having a baby. What's it like to play her in the tournament round?
Well, I don't know. I think that was the same team. She just wasn't on the bench. She had her trusted assistant that's been with her a long time, calling the shots that night as well as the rest of the staff. So, you know, I don't think it'll be any different. I think when you go back and look at the game, they played the same way they played all year long. So for us, it's who's on the floor. Like I don't play, she doesn't play. It's the kids on the floor, and your kids have got to make plays. And so I think for us, we've got to go out and do the exact same, you know, try to duplicate what we did. We didn't turn the ball over. We had 12 turnovers total. And so if you can limit that, and then we've got to cut down on a couple other things that we need to clean up. But other than that, we've got to go be who we are. And I think at the end of the day, that'll give us a chance.
I think last year, this time of year, probably the biggest problem with the team made was just the depth. Taylor was hurt. George had 3 guards.
Yeah.
A year later, how do you feel about your depth and just the amount of players you're going to be able to play if needed this weekend?
Yeah, I love my depth. Obviously, our depth at guard has been something that's been real positive for us all year. Obviously, our two-headed monster, the depth there has been special. You know, so we're I think in a much better place. You know, this time last year, I think we were playing 4 guards at 3 positions. You know, and so, but we had a lot of size. But then Taylor was in and out. She was concussed for the first game and then came back and played in the Elite 8 game. But when you sit out all week and then you don't play in that first game till you get back in, you're rusty. And so, you know, it's been good to have a healthy Taylor. I told her, you know, last year in our exit meetings, the biggest thing for you is we got to keep you healthy, get you healthy, keep you healthy, and we got to toughen up. And boy, she's embraced that. You have to really tip your hat to Taylor because she's way different. She's a different kid, and she's matured, she's toughened up, and that's why she's going to have a chance to play at the next level. I mean, she's somebody that's on a lot of people's radar, and she's up for the Lisa Leslie Award. That says enough right there that she's looked at as one of the 5 best 5 players in the country, and I expect the very same thing for Kyla next year. She's going to be looked at in the very same way. So those two have been really special for us, and again, the depth at 5 and the depth at guard really has really, I think, made us special.
Have you had more depth in the team?
Probably had as much depth, but this team's, you know, again, that's why I'm excited about them. I think the biggest thing is we've just had to piece together that 4 position, you know, whether we play a 4-guard lineup or Jockalinga's had to go from the 3 to the 4 and you know, trying to bring Justice along as fast as we can. And so it's just been you know, we kind of ham and egged it, you know, all year. And so again, if we can continue to develop that position and everybody else does their job, again, you got a chance. The thing about this time of year, you cannot afford to have that one bad night because everybody's good. And again, not to take anything from NC State a year ago, but if you remember in that game last year, we missed a ton of shots we had made all year long early in that game, and we kind of got behind the 8 ball. So we got to continue to be us, do what we do. We took care of the ball this past weekend. We got to continue to take care of the ball. I said this before, it's one of my better shooting teams. It seems to be a topic of conversation, but we have shooting drills that the standard is way higher than it's ever been for any other team. And so, you know, if we don't turn the ball over, we're going to have a chance to make shots.
Going back to the matchups conversation, I know talking to girls a lot after the game. They mentioned how that if it's coming to 6 against Tennessee, knowing who's on the board, knowing what they can do. They feel like Rory kind of mentioned they struggled with that in their game a little bit. So how have y'all kind of emphasized that throughout the weekend and then missing out?
Yeah, so that'll be a point of emphasis for us. Again, we'll have some line changes to mimic games, you know, in practice, and we'll have the right numbers on, the right jerseys on for guys and practice players. And so we'll have to be able to identify, hey, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. She can, she can't. She does this, she does that. And so, again, when you go to film with us, the kids all have notebooks. We take notes. Before we ever start film, it's a note-taking thing. And I've explained this to them early on. I'm a note taker. I go to a head coaches meeting or a meeting with administrators or any meeting I have, my staff, I'm a note taker. And I try to convey that to them, because if you write it down, it just seems like you have a better chance to retain it. And so we take notes. And so I got a whole tablet full of notes that we'll start film with today, and they'll take them down, write them down, and I think our kids have learned over the course of time, if he says it, write it down. And so we talk about that, and then we'll go to the film and we'll show them exactly boom, 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 what we're talking about and why we're talking about it.
All right, so there is Longhorns head coach Vic Schaefer talking about his team getting ready to take on Tennessee for the second time this year. They beat them here back on January 23rd. It's a Thursday night. That was the deal where the game time got pulled forward by an hour. It was supposed to be an 8 o'clock tip as the back end of a doubleheader with South Carolina and LSU, the front end. But they had all kinds of snow in Louisiana, and they had to push back the South Carolina LSU game to the weekend. So for television, they pulled forward the start time of that Texas-Tennessee game from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and the Longhorns won that game 80-76. All right, we'll be back to wrap up hour number 2 here on 13 Under the Zone.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch. Soaring fly ball center field. Back goes Dill to the warning track to the wall. It's gone. Mitchell for the second game in a row, a round tripper, and the Longhorns up 4-1 here in the 7th inning. As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call Star Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's Star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off, plus save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate, or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Pickleball is on the rise. 46.8 million players nationwide, with a projected $5 billion industry by 2033. Looking to be part of this exciting growth? Crush Yard offers a unique franchise opportunity, redefining the pickleball experience with indoor court, exceptional dining, craft drinks, and entertainment. This is your chance to invest in a rapidly growing brand shaping the future of leisure. For a limited time, you can own a piece of the action. Visit CrushYardFranchising.com to learn more. Crush Yard, pickleball, bar, and lounge.
GiveMeTheVin.com is already the best place to sell your car. And now it's even better with the GiveMeTheVin.com Big Cash Giveaway. Give Me The Vin is giving away $25,000 in cash every month. Sell us your car to increase your odds of winning big cash. No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Prohibition. It's no secret that banning alcohol didn't stop people from living it up in the 1920s.
When we're 5 years into prohibition, the government is starting to go, okay, this isn't working.
I'm Ed Helms, and on season 3 of Snafu, we're taking you back to the 1920s and the tale of Formula 6. What you probably don't know about Prohibition is that American citizens were dying due to poisoned liquor, and all along, an unlikely duo was trying desperately to stop the corruption behind it. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Snafu, and listen now.
The new iHeart app.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets. The preset feature is dynamite. Love it.
And I've been telling all my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Southern Rock Ride. The greatest Southern rock hits from the 70s and 80s. Skinner, 38 Special, Allman Brothers, and more. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Southern Rock Ride, and listen now. Free never sounded so good.
Back to Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns on 1300 The Zone.
Nearing the top of the hour here. We got one more hour of the program to go. We're going to hear some more from Big Schaefer, Texas head coach. Also going to talk college baseball with Ty Harrington coming up in a few minutes. This being the Craig Way Show and my name being Craig Way, one thing I wanted to do is to thank Dr. Greg Eckert, who is back on board with us, dentist in the greater Austin area for more than 30 years. He's been my dentist for 30 years, and he's a guy I trust. And I don't have to worry about the dental anxiety thing. That's a really cool deal. If you're a business owner and you'd like me to speak for your company, you can just send me an email at craigway@iheartmedia.com. And thanks again to Dr. Greg Eckert for their partnership as well. All right. We head to the top of the hour now. And again, we'll talk some college basketball. I have the answer to the question. Somebody asked about schools that have both their men's and women's teams still playing, here's the key word, postseason college basketball, postseason. Not NCAA exclusively, postseason. I have every bracket pulled up from all of those, men's and women's. I'll tell you about that coming up in our final hour of the show here on 1300 The Zone. If you're looking for the perfect place to watch the big game of your choice, I'm going to recommend Tony C's New York-style pizza and authentic Italian. It's Tony C's Pizza and Beer Garden, open in Kyle now at Kohler's Crossing, as well as the original locations, Anderson Lane near Shoal Creek Boulevard in Austin. That's the one I've been going to for years, as well as in Round Rock right in front of Dell Diamond. It is the perfect place to watch the game of your choice with TVs on every wall. All of the games are streaming with the sound on. You can sit at the bar for the best selection of some of the draft beers in town, or you can bring out the whole family for lunch or dinner and catch the game. You can dine in, pick up. The pizza of the month is a white clam pie, olive oil, chopped clams, mozzarella, pancetta, lemon, and parsley. On Tuesdays, they have 2 for Tuesday with 2 pizzas for the price of 1 every Tuesday. And don't forget about Pitcher Perfect Thursday with half-price pitchers of beer every Thursday. It's Tony C's Pizza and Beer Garden in Round Rock, in Austin, and now in Kyle at Kohler's Crossing.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today by calling 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $1,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call Star Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Hey, Texas sports fans, Mike Harge here, and Thomas J. Henry Law is thrilled to be part of the action with Texas baseball and softball game broadcast. Just like the athletes give it their all on the field, Thomas J. Henry and over 250 attorneys give it their all when it comes to helping you and your family get the justice you deserve. Whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, dedication, strategy, and teamwork are crucial. For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry Law has been committed to securing meaningful results for the injured people and their families. Visit tjhlaw.com or call 24/7 to get the help you need for you and your loved ones.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say "I do" with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster, Craig Way.
Third and final hour of the program, and glad to be with you here on a Wednesday afternoon, a Yacht Rock Wednesday, here inside the studios here at 13 Under the Zone. Craig Way and the producer Cameron Parker alongside. We're happy to be here today. Tomorrow, back on the road, flying with the Texas women's basketball team to Birmingham, Alabama. They will be in action on Saturday afternoon against Tennessee. And you'll be able to hear that game here on the Zone Saturday afternoon. It'll be a little bit of switching because this is the weekend. We start bringing you also Round Rock Express baseball, and they have a game Friday night. And so Friday night's Texas Longhorn baseball game against Missouri, 6 o'clock first pitch, can be heard on 103.1 FM, as well as on all the app connections we've talked about, connecting through the iHeartRadio app. And then, of course, obviously Texas Longhorns app and Longhorn Network app, those as well, and online at texaslonghorns.com. That's where you other ways to be able to hear the baseball broadcast throughout the weekend. This weekend will be on 103.1 FM. The women's game Saturday afternoon, and so therefore it will be cleared and out of the way before the Round Rock Express game takes place on Saturday evening in Tacoma, and that's why the switch for this weekend. And then on Monday, the Texas women, if they reach the championship, the Elite Eight game, it would be at 6:00, and you would hear that game here on the Zone as well, because AAA baseball takes Mondays off, so the Express would not be in action on Monday. So there's that. And we're going to hear more from Vic Schaefer, but also coming up in a few minutes, we're going to visit with Ty Harrington to talk some college baseball with him. Longhorn baseball looking good, 20-3, rated as high as number 3 in the national polls by I think it's Baseball America that has Texas number 3. Perfect Game has Texas number 5. And then D1 Baseball, the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association, and the ESPN USA Today Coaches Poll has Texas at number 7. So they're in the top 10 all the way around. And they go to Columbia to play Missouri this weekend. Of course, they swept that conference series in Starkville against Mississippi State, then took 2 out of 3 at home against LSU. They dropped the first game to LSU. And remember, that happened after they dropped the midweek game to UTSA. So they dropped 2 in a row. And since then, they've won 3 straight. So they're 20-3 going into that series beginning on Friday night. On the text line, our man CB says that 1959 song you just played was used in the movie La Bamba during the Richie Valens funeral scene. Yeah, because that's when Richie Valens and the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly all went down in the plane crash, Storm Lake, Iowa, I believe it was, in 1959 on that. Okay, we had a question from someone on the text line who asked if there was, he said, how many colleges still have both the men's and women's teams in the postseason? And he ends it with GMG, which means Go Mean Green. So it's obviously a North Texas fan. And North Texas did win its NIT game on the road, quarterfinal win at Oklahoma State last night, 61-59. So they're going to the semifinals. Remember, they won the NIT 2 years ago, and that title came in 2023. That was in Las Vegas. Now the tournament is shifted to Indianapolis.
Craig, and they won that game in Stillwater.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be played at North Texas. Did you hear the story about why they played at Oklahoma State?
Wasn't it an on-campus thing that the administrative staff had booked for the Super Pit, and they couldn't change it?
They had a staff luncheon.
That's it.
And they could not move it.
Yeah, a staff luncheon. That was silly. Fortunately, the Mean Green won the game, so they're going on to there. Okay, so to address the question, somebody asked, how many programs still have both their men's and women's basketball teams playing? So here we are to count them off. First of all, we'll go to the NCAA men's side. I see Duke. I see Ole Miss. I see Florida. Texas Tech, because they have their women's teams in the WBIT. Tennessee. And I think that's it. All right, there's 5 there, but just to be sure, let me check the women's, both the WBIT and the WNIT. There's 2 women's postseason tournaments. There's the women's NIT and the men's NIT, and the WBIT, which is really kind of the more recognized tournament, is the WBIT one. So on the women's side, I mentioned Ole Miss, and I think that's and Duke are the only women's out of the NCAA tournament. So then if you go further down, the WBIT down to its quarterfinals, Texas Tech, Florida is one, because they're playing Texas Tech tomorrow night in the quarterfinals. Let's see, Gonzaga, Minnesota, Belmont, James Madison, Villanova, Portland. So that's it for the WBIT. And then for the women's WNIT, they're still at their, I guess they're at their round of 16 playing tonight. Washington State, North Dakota State, North Texas is in the WNIT as well as the men's NIT. Abilene Christian. Illinois State is in the CBI championship game tonight. Lindenwood, Louisiana Tech, Southern Indiana Buffalo, Rutgers, College of Charleston, Duquesne, Cleveland State is playing Illinois State in the CBI championship game tonight. And then there's Butler and Purdue Fort Wayne. So both Cleveland State and Illinois State are still in the women's NIT, and they play in the CBI championship tonight. So there's that. Men's NIT, North Texas will play the winner of UC Irvine and UAB. If they play UAB, it'll be the fourth time they will have played this year. Twice in the regular season. They split those. UAB beat North Texas in the American Conference Tournament semifinals. And they're playing UC Irvine. The other side of that bracket, Chattanooga will play the winner of Kent State and Loyola Chicago. So right now I'm looking at 6 teams that are 6 schools that have both their men's and women's teams still alive. And then there's that other tournament. I wanted one other men's tournament, which is called, what's it called? The Crown.
It's MGM, the Crown, right?
The College Basketball Crown. That's what it's called. And it doesn't even start until Monday. You say, how can that be? They wanted to wait until it got through the Sweet 16. Fox is really the big money behind this, and it's at the MGM Grand in Vegas. So the teams that are in, this is men's tournament. The teams that are in it are Utah is playing Butler. There's another team, Butler. So you can count that. That's 7 teams. George Washington's playing Boise State. Nebraska's playing Arizona State. Georgetown is playing Washington State on one side of the bracket. On the other side, DePaul against Cincinnati. Oregon State against UCF, Colorado against Villanova, and Tulane against SC. Men and women. So that's 8. 8, that's the answer to the question. There are 8 schools that still have 2 teams, both a men's team and a women's team, playing postseason basketball of some sort. Not all in the NCAA, not even all in the NITs, but with all of the postseason basketball going on. I bet a lot of people didn't even know there was still that much postseason basketball going on. All right, coming up, we're going to talk some college baseball with Ty Harrington when we continue on 13 Under the Zone.
Harge and Henry, the morning kickoff, weekdays at 7.
Life in Austin moves fast. Work deadlines, weekend plans, and more errands than you can count. Feeling stretched thin? With AirTasker, getting help is easy. Post your task, set your price, and let local taskers handle the rest. Whether it's tackling a quick fix or finally checking off that big project you haven't had time for, AirTasker has you covered. Download AirTasker today or visit us at airtasker.com and spend less time juggling tasks and more time enjoying your life. AirTasker. Get anything done.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what's actually going on inside your body. By analyzing your gut microbiome, Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional now. Call StarStar Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
Spring is here, and just like the games are heating up on the court, Cover Chevy and Huddle is bringing you unbeatable deals like 0% APR for 60 months on a 2025 Chevy Blazer EV and a 2025 Chevy Equinox EV. 2.9% APR on 72 months on a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. $8,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Chevy Corvette, excluding Z06. See dealer for details. Cover Chevy has the perfect ride for you. Find them at Highway 79 in Huddle. HuddleChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
As we check on our traffic right now, I'm not seeing major accidents on the freeway, but the minute I say that, 35 northbound between Old Torf and Airport, 17-minute delay. 35 southbound between Airport and Riverside, that adds 14 minutes to your drive. And then checking on Mopac, let's see, Mopac northbound between Cesar Chavez and Far West, looks like it adds 12 minutes to your drive home. I'm Kat Cortez with your Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Get all your home spring tune-ups from Abacus for only $49 each. Water heater flush, AC tune-up, electric panel inspection, mainline drain clean-out, only at abacusplumbing.com.
M20628. What's up, everyone? It's Greg Rosenthal, and I'm teaming up with the king of spring, Daniel Jeremiah. He requires me to say that. We're going to be bringing you 40s and Free Agents, the only podcast you'll need this NFL draft season. From DJ's mock drafts to my top 101 free agents, we'll have it covered for you with all new episodes every Thursday, keeping you up to date as we head to the NFL draft. Listen to 40s and Free Agents on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow 40s and Free Agents and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Burnt Orange, Bebo, and Ball. Craig Way is talking it all. Now back to the Craig Way Show on 1300 The Zone. And we're back to the Craig Way Show. Have a message for Craig? Share it by using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app.
Sometimes late when things are real and people share the gift of gab between themselves. Some are quick to take the bait and catch the perfect prize that waits among the shelves. But Oz never did give nothing.
You had
to
questions about the last
pretend.
tune, whether it was worthy of Yacht Rock recognition. This is right in the wheelhouse. America is right in the wheelhouse. If you had, remember we've talked about if you had individuals on a Mount Rushmore of Yacht Rock, the Godfather, of course, is Michael McDonald, and you'd have to have Kenny Loggins up there and probably Christopher Cross, and maybe you could have Gordon Lightfoot or somebody else. But if you were doing bands, and Toto would be one of the bands, America would have to be one of the bands for Yacht Rock.
Okay.
You okay with that?
That's fine. I mean, it wasn't in the documentary, Craig. That's
no, America was in the documentary.
They were?
Yeah, they were in it. Did you end up watching all of it? I know you watched.
I've watched the whole thing. I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah, they were in it. Listen, we have no finer musical expert to confirm this than the man who joins us on the hotline right now. He's Ty Harrington, of course, 20 years a college baseball head coach at Texas State, former Longhorn assistant coach, lifetime Longhorn, now has, worked his way nicely into the radio and television realm. But he always had a good appreciation for music, even though, Ty, you've been you kind of had a harder rock edge to you. I was surprised to discover in your formative days and your misspent youth there at Midway High in the greater Waco area and country music. But have you developed an appreciation for yacht rock?
Yeah, like I have moments. I have moods and moments that would dictate that I would, and sing along moments like everybody else. That I still think that I'm a, professional singer of some sort, at least to me. But yeah, I mean, that's a great description. Yes, I'm a country boy, good old boy, that does love country music, but do have a love for rock or all music. And to be honest with you, probably a little more edgy rock than most people probably would think. And again, I tell people often enough that, like, if somebody asks you, friends always ask you, who's your favorite band, who's your favorite this and that, and outside of several local country artists and that you get to listen to often enough, but Led Zeppelin, if I went back in my lifestyle and time, was my favorite band.
Wow. See, that always amazes me.
I know. It does me too. It does me too every once in a while.
Wow. So, I mean, that's just how you were rolling. I sort of say that's how you roll in Woodway. But did you live in Woodway or Hewitt when you went to Midway?
I did. I lived in Woodway. I lived in Woodway. We were one of the newer additions way back in 75. And that'd be 1975.
Yeah.
And in our house, behind our house, you could walk all the way to the lake, which was several miles through the woods. If you tried to do it now, you would be jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Wow.
And Woodway was a States Drive. Now, that's not to say that we didn't go to Waco and drive up and down Valley Mills Drive like everybody else did.
Yeah, you were cruising. All right. So, would it be safe to say that Woodway is a lot different now that Chip and JoJo have sunk their paws into it?
It's easy to say that Waco in general is different, and Woodway too. I mean, with the growth of what they brought to the table, then there was that explosion of Baylor athletics too in football, and it had an impact. It did on Waco as well. Kind of combined Chip and Joanna, and then football took off for Baylor. And then there was that Art Browse era in there, and I think that had a big factor. And now it's just Waco has continued to grow.
All right, let me have you jump in with your thoughts. First of all, on I'm going to go the mid-major route to start with. First of all, and ask you, how good do you see UTSA right now? They had a big performance against Texas State, and they had the 12-inning win against the Longhorns. They beat Texas A&M. Get your thoughts on UTSA and also Texas State right now.
Okay, let's start with Texas State, and look, they've been struggling. I know people sometimes don't want to hear, and they can always say it's an excuse, but the reality is they've had 4 players out. And it is. I mean, look, I tell people this is a fair statement. I don't expect everybody to understand it. I know you understand it when I say this, but, some people will use to say, well, next man up, right? Well, the next man up, often enough, there's a reason why he was the next man up. And so they've been injured a little bit. They played better last weekend. They threw the ball better last weekend against Arkansas State. And then the UTSA game last night, actually, believe it or not, they were on the verge of being beat in 7 innings, and then they battled back and had the tying run come on at the 9th. So hopefully they're getting I know they're getting some of those injury guys back. So that is going to help. And they need it now with Coastal Carolina coming in this weekend. Coastal is a top 25 team, have been up and down, but Coastal's better on the mound this year than what they've been offensively, and it's usually historically the opposite. Now let's switch gears and move to UTSA. Pat Hallmark is a tremendous coach, by the way, and has been for a long time. He was with Wayne Graham for a long time as an assistant coach. He's one of those coaches that does what comes to his mind. Whatever he feels like is going to work in that moment, it does not matter to him if he feels like that it's not, it goes against the book, goes against the grain, whatever that book is, or whoever wrote that book. He's willing to do whatever it takes. And in his mind, he runs his offense and his pitching that way. What I mean by that, he's liable to pull a pitcher out in the middle of a count. He's liable to put a hitter. I mean, just a lot of different things. So he's a really, really good coach. I think when I saw them against Texas, I watched them on TV that night. They were really physical. In my recollections of them, when you go through their lineup, and then they kept bringing arms in. Now against Texas, they brought their starters back.
Yeah,
some of their weekend starters back, right? You were part of that, and you saw that. But they also were able to finish with guys that, if you go in there and compare what the velocity looks like for a lot of Power 5 schools, it's that 92 to 97 range, right? Well, they kept rolling guys out there one right after another, and there was probably a little bit of juice and energy involved in it too, if they were fired up. But everything looked like it was 93 to 95 as well, and with command of the breakers. And so I do think they're good. They played well on the road as well, and oftentimes, like it is for a lot of people, if they stay healthy, I think they're a team to contend with. I do. They showed me enough defensively. That doesn't mean, again, that somebody doesn't get hurt. Who knows what happens. But I thought they handled the ball well. Obviously, I know them to be well coached, and I thought they were physical enough on the offensive part of the game that they could score from home plate, and they could score with 2 outs because they have enough balance in their lineup to create offense 1 through 9 in their lineup.
Talking college baseball with Ty Harrington here on 1300 Zone. All right, Ty, Longhorn fans understandably excited, and rightly so. They're 20-3, and they're tied atop the conference standings at 5-1. Now, I throw this in not to throw cold water on anything, but it's simply as a reminder of the new world that they are in. They are 5-1 in the league, and they're 20-3 overall. Arkansas is 5-1 in the league and 23-3 overall. Tennessee is 5-1 in the league and 23-2 overall. And Georgia is 5-1 in the league and 25-2, coming off a weekend where they went to a nationally ranked Florida team in Gainesville, swept all 3 games, scored 40 runs in the process, 8 runs Friday, 17 Saturday, 15 Sunday. They ruled the Gators on their own home field on Sunday. So the only reason why I bring this up, and there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie, 1 game back of them with Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss, is just, as Jim Schlossnagle would say, this is the deepest waters Texas has ever collectively swam in a conference baseball season. Agree?
Yes, 100%. I thought, so when you say into deeper waters, I mean, I thought last weekend was a great representation of, how the water starts to look and feel. And then when you start talking about all those teams and those programs and how good they are, and it's not bad scheduling. I mean, it's reality. That's who they are. And it's almost like so you think as a coach, you go through your schedule, and I'm trying not to shift too many gears here, but when you as a coach, you start to go through your schedule, you go, hey, look, I feel like we got a chance to win 2 out of 3 here on the road. If we do that, that's great. If we do, when you start looking at the weekends and the SEC and what that represents, man, I mean, you play bad. You got a chance to lose 2 out of 3 or get swept if you play bad. And the other piece of that is if you do go through a glitch in there, a month in there, where you get injured or something like that, you're gonna have some rough moments if you don't, watch out, or if you don't have great depth. What it makes you do, and this is where I would be surprised if it's, if Texas goes a different direction with this, if they stay injury free, is that it requires you to play your best. It demands that if you want to be successful in this league and you want to get to that, you hear Coach Schloss talk about, you got to get to that 15 win mark in the SEC. Then you run the risk, then you run the ability to be able to host and be, a national seed and do some other things, right? In this league, in the SEC, and win more than that too, than you really are. But the reality is you have to play your best. Because that's it. I mean, you got to be good enough, which Texas is. But you got to stay healthy, which they are right now, and you have to play your best when you line up. Or if you don't, somebody's going to knock your socks off.
Well, and the only other reason I bring this up is to let you give a little bit of perspective on who else is contender. Here's where I'm going with this. If you look at the D1 poll and the other polls, and there's a bunch of them in college baseball, for whatever reason, there's more polls in college baseball than any other sport. But I don't know why that is, but it is. But in the D1 baseball poll, which many follow pretty closely, the top 3 teams are SEC teams: Tennessee, Arkansas, Georgia. Then you have Florida State and Oregon State and Clemson. Then the next 3 are SEC teams: Texas, LSU, and Oklahoma. So 6 of the top 9 are SEC teams. Oregon is 10th. Auburn is 11th. Alabama is 12. So 8 of the top 12 are SEC. Southern Mississippi is 13. Vanderbilt is 14. And Ole Miss is 15. 10 of the top 15 are from the Southeastern Conference. So with all that factored in and with everything you talked about, who else do you see as being really, really good and would be, if people were saying you take the SEC, any team from the SEC or the field to win in Omaha in June, if you just looked at the rankings right now, maybe the top candidates would be Florida State, Oregon State, Clemson, Oregon, Southern Miss, Wake Forest is 16, Dallas Baptist is 17. Then you have Louisville, UC Irvine, Stanford, North Carolina, Troy, Arizona, UCLA, and Georgia Tech. And Coastal Carolina, who you just mentioned, just dropped out of the poll, but they're in the others receiving votes.
So you're asking me where I see
what would be the big
Omaha,
if you were to pick a school or two
today
to be the biggest threat, to be better than, and when all the smoke clears, than any of those 10 of the top 15 schools that are SEC schools that are ranked right now, which school or schools really leap off the page to you?
Yeah, okay. Well, to me, it's going to follow in the line of Tennessee. It's going to fall in line with, believe it or not, I think Florida State's really good. I had a chance to watch them on TV. I do. I think they're really good.
Walk-off grand slam. Yeah, walk-off grand slam. So if it was going to be someone other than an SEC school, other than a Tennessee or Arkansas or Georgia, who looks really good right now, if you were to pick, and again, like I said, Florida State is 4th in the poll, Oregon State is 5, Clemson is 6, Oregon is 10, Southern Miss is 13, Wake Forest 16, Dallas Baptist 7. Anyway, those are some of the other ones outside of those 10 of the top 15 who are SEC schools. What school or schools do you think could offer the biggest threat to the SEC?
It's going to have to be. I saw Oregon State 3 times early in the year. They're really physical. I don't know that they have the bullpen that threw enough strikes for me right now. But to me, it would have to be, Florida State. I saw Clemson too. And I think you may have saw Clemson too that opening weekend. I'm not sure. But,
yep, they were up there. Yeah,
I think they're he felt like it was the best team that they'd ever assembled. He felt like they were going to be a top 8 team. Outside of that, to really take on. Because you're asking a tough question.
That's my point exactly.
I don't know how to. I got a lot of right now in my brain right now, and man, and the last statement you made before you brought that question back around to me was, and Georgia is playing good.
Yeah.
Man, I just don't know. It would have to be a Florida State, or it'd have to be Clemson to me.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I've seen limited of Florida State, except on TV. And Clemson, I did see in person.
Yeah, Florida State won on a walk-off grand slam to beat Florida last night, beating them in a midweeker there to do it. All right. Hey, I appreciate the time. I know you've got busy things going on both in San Marcos with baseball and with the Longhorns up here, but I know I'll see you around the corner here pretty soon, right?
You will. Good luck with your travels and everything you've got going on with women's basketball and your coaches. And then travel with baseball as well. And I'll tell you what, I think what is going to happen now. I think you should probably when UT would go on the road in baseball, to pay attention, right? I think people would kind of listen, and they would listen to you, and they would, watch some. They would do their best to keep up. I think after this past weekend and everything everybody is seeing and the momentum that they have, you're going to have a large audience again, and it's exciting. It really is, and I think you would agree with me. Last weekend was really exciting.
No doubt.
I have two blue bloods like LSU and Texas square up. It was a heavyweight fight on Saturday. That was an absolute heavyweight. And both teams just absolutely going at each other. And then I thought Sunday, and I think you agree, I thought Sunday was just an incredibly fun, great college baseball game. And so anyway, every weekend is going to be exciting. It is what it is. The SEC is exactly what it's supposed to be, and who they are.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Hey, Ty, thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
You got it. Good luck.
Thank you. That's Ty Harrington. He's right. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for one of those SEC teams to be unseated, and it'll be interesting to see how many teams get to Omaha. I know there was a lot made of 14 SEC teams making the NCAA basketball tournament. 10 of the top 15 ranked teams, just ranked teams, are SEC teams in baseball. That postseason tournament in Hoover ought to be interesting because it's single elimination, 16 teams, just like the Big 12. All right, we'll be back here more from Vic Schaefer when we continue on 13 Under the Zone.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Cloudy skies, increasing chance of rain later today. Highs in the low 80s, only in the upper 60s for a high tomorrow with a good chance of rain.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Get all your home spring tune-ups from Abacus for only $49 each. Water heater flush, AC tune-up, electric panel inspection, mainline drain clean-out, only at abacusplumbing.com.
M20628. Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Hey, if you're looking to refurbish your smile or just taking care of your day-to-day dental health care needs, I can recommend a solution. Dr. Greg Eckert. Dr. Eckert has been at it for 30 years now here in Austin, helping folks with dental repair, whitening, cosmetic dentistry, and a leader in full mouth restoration. They can help you make the informed decision about your dental health care. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. That's Eckert with a U, U-E-C-K-E-R-T. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Opening week at Dell Diamond includes 3 giveaways and 2 fireworks shows. Don't miss a spectacular opening day on Tuesday, April 1st. Plus, all the fun all week long. Tickets at roundrockexpress.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Craig Way here, and I'm with Dan Christensen from DJC Law. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't take the loss. You need the MVPs of injury law at DJC Law. Dan, tell everyone about Team Justice.
Thanks, Craig. DJC Law is here for you 24/7
24/7. You can reach us anytime at 512-888-9999. Our team of lawyers work hard for our clients, which is why we have over 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Team Justice has over 20 lawyers with combined 200 plus years of experience and over 500 trials. With a 99% win rate, we've been able to collect over $400 million in recoveries for our clients. We have offices in North and South Austin, but we can also come to you anytime, anywhere, 24/7, nights and weekends. And the best thing is, we don't get paid unless we win your case.
Sounds like going with DJC Law is a real touchdown for clients.
You could say that.
I just did. If you've been seriously injured by someone else's negligence, get your free consultation today. Call Dan Christensen at DJC Law today at 512-888-9999 or visit teamjustice.com.
Principal Office, Austin, Texas.
iHeartRadio Did You Know? Presented by iHeartRadio. You know, what you're listening to right now. Did you know that iHeartRadio not only lets you listen to all your favorite AM/FM stations locally and nationwide for free, but iHeartRadio also has a team of people who are as passionate about music as you, working round the clock to hand curate playlists perfect for any mood or activity. We know the right soundtrack can help set the mood, change your mood, or enhance any activity. And that's why we have thousands of playlists tuned to fit any situation. The best part, you can listen to all your playlists for free. Tap the playlist tab in the iHeartRadio app and explore playlists to help you get in the zone while working out or chill when it's time to wind down. Playlists for a party, sleeping, cooking, gaming, or road tripping. Playlists curated with the best hits from every decade and playlists with the biggest hits from every genre. Tap the playlist tab and discover all the playlists available to you free from iHeartRadio. #1 for music, radio, and podcasting. All in one app.
iHeartRadio. It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hardball Harsh and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster, Craig Way.
You know, a lot of people might not realize that Luther is yacht rock too. You know, it's Luther Vandross.
There's a part in the documentary about him and George Benson.
Yep.
Kind of the black music effect of yacht rock that never really got popular.
Yeah, but it's all a part of that as well. All right, let's hear some more as the Texas women prepare to leave town tomorrow. More on this matchup with Tennessee and going to the Sweet 16 with head coach Vic Schaefer.
You know, Rory is really good. Shea is outstanding. Rory and Shea sit next to each other. Booker's good about it, and those three are right there, and they really do a good job in that front row. Taylor's over there as a veteran. She did a good job. Those are the ones I kind of notice because I'm close to them when we're sitting in there. But, you know, they've come to understand the importance of taking notes.
How has she kind of been mentally these past couple games, shooting the ball well? But how have you seen her just kind of respond to that adversity?
She's been great. You know, Shea's unflappable. I mean, she's as solid as any kid I've ever had. And you don't see that it's not like she's walking around going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This and that. She shot 50% in the game the other day. And again, the athleticism, how hard she plays, she's really somebody, again, that brings so much to the table. You can't get tied up with one thing that maybe she might not be as good at as some of the other things she does. And again, she's shooting in practice and making everything she looks at, trust me. And so, it'll fall. She obviously had a big game at Mississippi State late in the year, made 4 out of 6 from 3. Kid can make shots. Like, I think the other night she took one, she rushed one from the left side on the wing. Again, she's just trying, she wants to help us, and she's trying to make a shot, but that one was probably hotly contested. But other than that, she understands what a good shot is in time and place. That's the biggest thing with young kids is time and place. And so, Jock took one from the perimeter the other night early in the clock out there at the 3-point line. I'm like, that's not time and place. And this is something that my staff continues to impart on our kids, is just trying to educate them on time and place. And so, again, she's unflappable. She's as solid as anybody. And from a mental capacity, she's as tough as nails.
Review every shot.
I mean, I live with it. I live and die with it during the game. If y'all pay attention, I mean, I'm over there agonizing with every turnover, every shot. I mean, everything. I'm, and to a fault, really. I have to kind of watch myself a little bit, because that can affect, who's on the floor, and I don't want to do that. I'm not there to do that, but I'm just, Rory and I joke about it all the time. I live and die with every movement that kid makes, because she's an extension of me. And, when she makes a great play or might have a turnover, like I agonize with all of that. And again, it's not like, it's just something that I have to kind of evaluate myself on sometimes, but it's not just her. I do it with all of them. Taylor misses a bunny. I'm over there probably having a conniption in your eyes, but when you work so hard to get those looks and get those shots, you gotta cash them. And the other night, I think, we had a chance to feed the post. We turned it down. We had 2 in the lane, gave them our numbers, and we turned it down. Well, that's the mentality of a post player, y'all. You go down there, you lay on people, you're rubbing shoulders and exchanging sweat. You get a tough rebound, you throw it, you run the floor, you go down there and post, and some guard don't throw you the ball. That's how tough mentally that your bigs have to be, because you just did all the dirty work, ran down the floor, and they don't reward you. And then, so now you got to go back down there and do that again, and then hope that you run the floor again and they reward you. And so, I'm living and dying with that too. So I see it all, and I live and die with it all. But as I've told my team, part of my living with this team is that I know how good they are. I know what the opportunity is in front of them, and they're good enough. And I want it badly for them. Again, as somebody, I was talking to SEC radio this morning, and they were talking about, do you talk to your kids about taking things for granted? When you see something like what happened with Juju, which your heart goes out to her and the whole team. Do you talk about that? And I'm like, guys, I talk about it 3-4 times a week. Like, we circle up before practice every day, and I'm telling them, or after practice, and I'm telling them, you think this is what we do because it is what we've done, but you don't take it for granted. Like, these times are fleeting. I know we've done this now a bunch, and you think, well, it's just what we do, and it is what we do, but you just can't take it for granted, because you never know when the next hiccup's going to be. And the same is true injury-wise. When I tell them, don't take this for granted, y'all. This team is special. This opportunity is special. This time in your life is special. Don't take it for granted. And Rory will go, yep, don't, because, she's been through it. Amo will go, yep, don't, Jordana, yep, don't, because you hope that day never happens, but you never know. So, man, live it each and every day, because you just don't know when this opportunity comes again. Again, we've done it. We've been in this position 4 out of the 5 years we've been here. We did it at Mississippi State, however many straight years, but you can't take it for granted. I would say that to this group standing here, you young people, you don't take this time in your life for granted, because unfortunately in life, things happen, and they happen to good people. And so when that happens again, remember, it's how you respond that defines you. You look at Rory Harmon, to me, how she's responded to this defines who she is. It says everything you need to know about Rory Harmon. And again, you got to give her a ton of credit.
In the past, you've had a pretty good working relationship with Chris and Rodney. Kind of wondering, with Sean coming in, your thoughts on that, and how important is this kind of synonymous with coaching on the men's practice field?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had great relationships everywhere I've been with the men's head coach. And again, they have their life and their things going on, and we certainly do ours as well. But again, you know, Rodney was someone that I have deep respect and admiration for. And I know Sean is a great coach, and I haven't had a chance to meet him, but I know he's asked our administration about me. And so there'll be a chance when we have a chance to meet each other and visit. I know he's going to have to hit the ground running, and he knows I'm involved with what I'm doing right now. But it is really important, to answer your question. You know, we need to work together, whether it's on practice times or game. You know, we get this calendar, y'all, and most places it's just, hey, what days do you want to play? What days do you want to play? Well, it's what days you want to play, what days do you want to play, and what days is it available? You know, and so we really have to work closely on all that. So, you know, I'm confident that Sean will be great and be great to work with, and again, excited for them and their opportunity, and I'm here to help any way I can.
There it is, Vic Schaefer with some words there of excitement and encouragement for the new men's head coach, Sean Miller, coming in to lead the Texas men's program. We'll be back to wrap up today's edition of the program here on 13 Under the Zone.
The run for a title continues for Texas women's basketball.
Shea Holly, a three-pointer good. Shea Holly knocks down the three, and the Longhorns go up by 10.
Catch all the action on our sister station.
Baseline in traffic, pulled it up. Reverse side and got it. What a move on the baseline for Aaliyah Moore to go under the basket. Reverse side, got the bucket and won.
103.1, Austin's 80 station. Hook off.
Hey y'all, Cameron Parker here, and I'm always on the lookout for chef-inspired comfort food in Austin. Well, not anymore, because I found the League Kitchen and Tavern with 4 locally owned and operated locations in Austin, including Avery Ranch, Bee Cave, Belterra, and Lakeway. The League Kitchen and Tavern stands as a homage to the 1920s Prohibition era, with the vibe of a vintage speakeasy-inspired eatery and a menu that offers American comfort foods made from scratch using fresh products delivered almost daily, and a cocktail menu that takes guests on a stroll through history. The League is the perfect place to dine in or pick up lunch and dinner. So check out their March specials, including their fish sandwich, battered cod on a challah bun with tartar sauce and coleslaw. Or try the Celtic Mule cocktail of the month, Jameson with ginger beer, peach slices, mint lime wedges, and Matilda Peach. So hang out at the bar and watch the game. I know I'll be there. With 4 locations in Austin, it's the League Kitchen and Tavern.
When it comes to great deals on tax prep, Jackson Hewitt isn't holding back, and neither is this commercial. Their offer is so big, it has to be said with Reverb. Expert tax prep for $149 or less. It's a deal so spectacular, it needs a symphony, some explosions, and a clock ticking, because this offer $149 or less. And soon, 1 expert tax prep for $149 or less. Try Jackson Hewitt today and save. Whew. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 5-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call Star Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's *488 to receive a link to the offer.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Prohibition. It's no secret that banning alcohol didn't stop people from living it up in the 1920s.
When we're 5 years into Prohibition, the government is starting to go, okay, this isn't working.
I'm Ed Helms, and on season 3 of Snafu, we're taking you back to the 1920s and the tale of Formula 6. What you probably don't know about Prohibition is that American citizens were dying due to poisoned liquor, and all along, an unlikely duo was trying desperately to stop the corruption behind it. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Snafu, and listen now.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Okay, going to wrap it up here on this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you. Let me just say this. Thanks to all of you. Thank you for bearing with us. You understand it. You get it. That this is a crazy, busy time of year. We've got what I call the overlap Roman numeral 2 with men's and women's basketball and baseball. We're now down, obviously, with women's basketball and baseball, but exciting times for both of those sports. So Cameron and I will be in Birmingham, Alabama. I will check in tomorrow from Birmingham with Andrew Zimmel, who will be here at the mic. So thanks for giving him the listen. Thanks for giving us your ears as well. Thanks to our guests this afternoon, Gene Watson and also Ty Harrington. For the producer, Cameron Parker, I'm Craig Way. Thank you for joining us. Dino and Rich, Fox Sports Radio. Up next, Andrew Zimmel will be in here tomorrow at 2 o'clock, 13 Under the Zone.